All right. Hello and welcome to the High School Esports League Finals of Season 1. This will be Team Kenzo versus the Scrublordz coming up in about 15 minutes here, so get hyped. It is going to be truly, truly awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and go to break, and whenever we're ready to get into the game, I will come back and it'll be awesome. All right, we are going to get this game underway soon. I think we're just waiting for Charmander to evolve into a Charizard. That was really lame. I'm gonna find a way to do a better Charmander pun. Who is Diana Plugs? Oh, look, Charmander. Okay, I guess we're ready to not get started. We're gonna wait a little bit longer. I think they want to rearrange things. So, yeah. 18 viewers, that's pretty good. Yeah, Paramore. It's great. Oh, and we're getting into the game. So this will be Team Kenzo versus the Scrublordz. The Scrublordz will be on the blue side, Team Kenzo will be on the purple side, and we're just waiting for bans to come down right now. Jarvan 4 will be the first ban. The Scrublordz don't want to see that. Apparently, someone on Team Kenzo plays it. Don't know if I've personally seen it, but I assume that these teams know more about each other than I do. So, historically, the Team Kenzo has banned Tarek a lot. They banned Evelyn, Shyvana. Definitely a good ban right now. And for the greatest player ever. Alright. Next ban could be a Sivir ban for sure. That is something that is really strong right now. It's so obnoxious to lane against. And she's just a really strong champion. In team fights, she's hard to catch and easy to do a lot of damage with. Kassadin, definitely very strong, super mobile, and able to 100 to 0 someone pretty easily. Alright, apparently Charmander and Frosty play J4, so now Kenzo has the ban. They'll get rid of Evelyn. I kind of expect a Tarek last ban because that's what they were doing yesterday against the Golden Hawks. And the Sivir ban comes out from Scrublordz. We'll have to see what Team Kenzo wants to get rid of now. I do anticipate the Tarek, but it could also perhaps be a Lucian. I don't know if there's anything else that's particularly ban-worthy right now that these guys would ban. Maybe a Riven ban? Or, oh yeah, Nasus is actually something they were banning a lot yesterday as well. So I kind of expect Team Kenzo to be picking up the Blitzcrank. They ran that in both games against the Golden Hawks. It seems to be a high priority pick for them. On the Scrublordz side, Glorious Wabunga going to pick up the Twisted Fate. He said that he prefers to play Fizz over Twisted Fate, but regardless, he is going to be on that this game. Frosty Light locking in the Olaf for his team, and Night Elf Mohawk not hovering over anything just yet. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Blitzcrank. So actually, Jinx being hovered over and locked in. This looks like a very aggressive early game team composition from Kenzo potentially. Two sword and a wand. Looks like he may want to be grab the Thresh for his team. He will. That's definitely a strong champion right now, able to pick people off easily and strong in team fights for peel as well as initiation. He's all around very good, not really a bad choice in any situation. ADC is easy, hovering over the Ezreal. Now going to switch to Caitlyn. Both are very safe carries, very capable of doing a lot of damage from long range. Caitlyn probably a little better if you want to win lane, although against Jinx is a really strong champion right now for sure. Charmander hovering over the Orianna. So they may want to grab a ball delivery system for their last pick, but right now they're going to probably grab the Blitzcrank. No surprise there. That seems to be something that they really like to play. So just waiting for them to lock those in, assuming they don't change anything. And yeah. So definitely Kenzo is the favored team here. They have done extremely well in the tournament. I believe, if I am correct, that they are undefeated so far. And they do have a tendency when they to troll and let other teams, you know, feel like they have a chance, and then just suddenly turn on Super Saiyan mode and win the game. So wouldn't be surprised to see that, but you never know. Scrublordz made it this far as well, so I mean, if anyone's gonna take down Team Kenzo, it will be the Scrublordz for sure. Grab the blitz. Alright, so I2 awesome. Looks like he wants that Shen. He has the teleport as well. I don't know if he will be, probably he will be playing that Shen in the top lane with teleport. And the Zac jungle, something that I have not seen a whole lot in competitive play, but in this particular league, a lot of people really seem to favor the Zac. It is very strong for initiating team fights. He can initiate from a long range, and he has a lot of sustain, so he's definitely hard to deal with for sure. Not even worth focusing because he'll just respawn with his blobs. So definitely a large threat. It looks like what their goal is to do, or should be, is to have that Shen split pushing, start a fight with Zac, and just have Caitlyn and Caitlyn be the backline with Twisted Fate and Thresh, while Shen comes in the front and dives with Zac. So on the other side, Team Kenzo, just overall an aggressive team composition. I would really be surprised to see this Kog'Maw, but you never know. They do have a lot of pick potential. They can kill someone very quickly, although the Orianna doesn't particularly fit that motif. Probably just a strong champion that they did want to pick up. Orianna should fare pretty well against Twisted Fate in lane. He takes a little while to ramp up, but so does Orianna. She's just a little safer in lane early on, a little more capable of putting out consistent harass. And there, the John Tran going to lock in the Rengar. Timer actually ticking down there. So Rengar definitely a really strong champion right now. We'll have to see how it does against the Shen. Shen, not exactly the most aggressive, strong laning champion in the game. So perhaps the John Tran will want to abuse that to get an advantage in the lane. And apparently Night Elf Mohawk saying he's gonna hook the Zac on purpose. So we'll have to see how that works out. Definitely Kenzo not even really having a tank line. They just want to do damage and kill people. They're not concerned with tanking anything. And actually looks like Frosty Light is going to be on the jungle Rengar, so the John Tran will be on the Olaf top, although actually I think they're going to switch because I would be surprised to see Rengar with Ghost. Yeah, okay, so they're switching back. John Tran will be on that Rengar top lane. Very strong pick right now. And we'll be back in 3 minutes after the spectator delay ends to get into the game. Alright, so I'll see you then.
cycle. I can't excite you anymore. Where's your gavel, your jury? What's my offense this time? You're not a judge, but if you're gonna judge me, well, sentence me to another life. Don't wanna hear your sad songs, I don't wanna feel your pain. When it's over, it's not my fault, 'cause you know we're not the same. We're not the same. Oh, we're not the same. Yeah, the birds are stuck together. We wrote our names in blood, but I guess you can't accept that the change is good. It's good. It's good. Will you treat me just like another stranger? Well, it's nice to meet you, so I guess I'll go. I must be on my way out. You treat me just like another stranger. Well, it's nice to meet you, so I guess I'll go. I must be on my way out. Ignorance is your new best friend. Ignorance is your new best friend. And this is the best thing that could have happened. Any longer and I wouldn't have made it. It's not a war, no, it's not a rapture. I'm just a person, but you can't take it. The same tricks that once fooled me, they won't get you anywhere. I'm not the same kid from your memory. Well, now I can fend for myself. Don't wanna hear your sad songs, I don't wanna feel your pain. When it's over, it's not my fault, 'cause you know we're not the same. We're not the same. Oh, we're not the same. Yeah, we used to stick together. We wrote our names in blood, but I guess you can't accept that the change is good. It's good. It's good. Will you treat me just like another stranger? Well, it's nice to meet you, so I guess I'll go. I best be on my way out. You treat me just like another stranger. Well, it's nice to meet you, so I guess I'll go. I best be on my way out. Ignorance is your new best friend. 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 Will you treat me just like another stranger? Well, it's nice to meet you, so I guess I'll go. I best be on my way out. You treat me just like another stranger. Well, it's nice to meet you, so I guess I'll go. I best be on my way out.
All right. We are about to get into this game. Get hype. Definitely Glorious Wabunga, I think it was. No, it was Gilded Gallows is super hype for this game. I think that's Sean 8T. I could be wrong about that. But he ran down his street and back, getting hyped up for this game. So on the blue side for the Scrublordz, we have Glorious Wabunga on the Twisted Fate mid, 2 Sword and a Wand on the Thresh support. He was actually on top lane yesterday playing some questionable Garen, but we will forgive him for that. ADC is easy on the ADC Caitlyn. I2 Awesome on the Shen top with teleport. Sean 8T on the Zac jungle. And on the other side for Team Kenzo, Frosty Light on the Olaf jungle. Night Elf Mohawk on Blitzcrank support. And apparently he's going to do some Zac hooking. We'll have to see. Politeness on the Jinx AD carry. Charmander on the TPA Orianna. And John Tran on the Rengar in the top lane. So, despite the 2 skins on Kenzo, there are 3 skins for Scrublordz, so that means they win. Guys, we can call it now. Just the prize goes to Scrublordz because they have more skins. GG. Oh, actually, that reminds me, I need to update the bracket, but I'll do that later because right now we are about to start playing, and there's a pause immediately. I guess there's some all chat going on, but I can't see it, and I don't know why. I have all chat turned on, but Anyway, we're just waiting for this pause to resolve. And I guess ADC is easy was not connected, so now we know. And we should be able... Oh, and Night Elf Mohawk. There are some connection problems, I suppose, going on. And actually, while this is going on, I may as well update the bracket on challenge.com. And I guess pause is over, but let me real quick put Scrublordz in the finals here on the bracket. That was a 1... Let's say it was a 2-1 because it's in the race surrendered ultimately. So Team Kenzo versus Scrublordz in the finals. The bracket can be found at challenge.com. I'll link it in the stream chat. Alright, so looks like both teams starting with some sweeping lenses. 1 for the Scrublordz and 2 for Team Kenzo. Pretty passive starts. That seems to be the norm because since you can't have those early wards anymore, there's less of a point in an early invade unless you just want to take a buff at level 1. Which can have its own advantages. You can force the opposing jungler to start on a certain side of the map if that would be favorable to you. And John Tran positioning very aggressively. Sean 18 and Glorious Wabunga close by. Oh, John Tran, you are in trouble. He's going to get stunned by the gold card. Sean 18 actually doesn't have the slow. It's Too Awesome takes his taunt at level 1, and John Tran's just going to flash away. So sacrificing his flash, but I2 Awesome did take Shadow Dash at level 1, which is going to make him weaker until he levels up. So that could be problematic. Yeah, the bracket is in the stream chat if you guys want to see it. And looks like Frosty Light will start at his blue. I expect to see him doing some quick farming. That was what he did last time on Olaf, and it seems to be a pretty good strategy on Olaf because Olaf farms fast. Now, Night Elf, Mohawk, and Politeness going to walk down to this lane. They know they're pretty safe because ADC is easy, and 2 Sword and 1 have already showed, and they're trying to shove out the lanes so that they can get a bit of an experience advantage here in the top lane. I'm interested to see how this will play out with I2 Awesome having taken his Shadow Dash at level 1. And already a bit of a CS lead for ADC is easy, but that should change once these minion waves equalize a little bit. But definitely the experience advantage will be what is valuable for ADC is easy. And for these first couple levels, 2 Sword and a Wand and ADC is easy should have a pretty good time here, and they are having a pretty good time. Sean 8T getting a little bit low in his jungle, but he'll be okay. Did somebody get hurt? Oh, Glorious Wabunga taking some damage in the mid lane. And Night Elf, Mohawk, and Politeness just playing a little conservatively here. They're going to wait until they can land some Blitzcrank hooks and hopefully make something happen there. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Frosty Light coming in for a gank. He will get spotted by this ward, but he is actually not going to clear it. He's going to go straight in for the gank. The Shadow Dash maybe going to save I2 Awesome here. He gets slowed by the red buff. No axe grabbed by Frosty Light. He did not get the cooldown reset there, so he may actually come back. First blood, though, in the mid lane. Actually, in the bottom lane. What am I talking about? Goes to Politeness. And I'll go ahead and rewind a little bit so we can see what happened there. Looks like 2 Sword and 1 landed a grab there. And then he got hooked in under tower, had to flash away. So a little bit over-eager. Night Elf Mohawk taunting him with the laughs there. So let's go ahead and fast forward to current time. Sean 8T setting up for a gank in the mid lane. Looks like that will go to the Scrublordz. So Scrublordz not doing too bad so far. The gold is pretty even. Kill score is 1-1. And let's go ahead and catch up. Sean 8T getting caught by Frosty Light in his jungle, but Sean 8T has a lot of regen. The red buff ticking on Frosty Light as well. He will land the axe, and JonTran going in here. He'll put down the ignite. The Cell Division popped on the Zac, but I2 Awesome just trying to deal some damage here. Looks like Zac will maybe die. Actually, the teleport keeping the blobs alive there, but alas, Zac will still die. Glorious Wabunga tries to come in and help. Actually, the gold card lands, and he'll just barely live, getting the kill on Frosty Light. So Scrublordz definitely finding that they are a pretty good match for Team Kenzo so far. And Charmander really looking for something there, but Glorious Wabunga playing definitely cautious. He does not want to give away the double buff, and Charmander will just head back to the mid lane. Meanwhile, in the bottom, I expect to see more action here. 2 sword and a wand has to be careful not to get grabbed into tower like he did that last time. JonTran and I2 Awesome both at half HP. Probably both of those champions not going to be able to hurt each other too much. And now the advantage definitely going for Team Kenzo. They do have the level advantage there, and that will be good for them. Hook misses Night Elf Mohawk. 2 sword and a wand was just slightly out of range, and Sean 8T charging up his elastic slingshot. He will not get the knock up there, but he will get the slow from his Q, and JonTran will just walk away from that. He'll be all right. Frosty Light was going to rotate there, but it looks like he doesn't need to do that, so he's going to clear his golems. And the gold right now still very even. No one has a clear advantage yet. So 2 sword and a wand just going to grab some souls with that lantern. And actually, Sean 8T comes back to gank again. JonTran not having a fun time in this lane, getting camped pretty hard. And in the bottom lane, Night Elf Mohawk falls very low. Actually, both supports falling very low. Politeness wants to get that kill, but he overextends. He's tanking a lot of minions there, and both teams just going to walk away from that. It looks like nobody gained a clear advantage there. Is Blitzcrank's passive up still? It looks like it is up, so he might be able to use that to bait as long as he has some mana left in his pool. Actually, ADC is easy, gets grabbed, but Night Elf Mohawk goes down. Now the TF coming in at level 6, gets the gold card, and he'll get a kill there. 4-2 in favor of Scrublordz. They're doing a great job, but meanwhile, in the top lane, Frosty Light looking for a gank. I don't think he'll find anything just yet, and the status quo will be maintained versus the JonTran and I2 Awesome. But Sean 8T coming up here, the taunt lands, the elastic slingshot lands, and the JonTran is going to pop his ult to try and get away. Frosty Light coming in for the counter gank now. JonTran jumps on Sean 8T. Of course, he does not have the Cell Division up, and he'll have to flash away. So overall, looks like that actually went in favor of Team Kenzo. Definitely doing a good job of turning that around. JonTran, no fear, even with low HP, decided to go in and get some damage down. So Sean 8T really wants to make something happen here. He has not been farming his jungle. He's just camping the JonTran hard. But it looks like he won't get that elastic slingshot off. Maybe he should just go take his white camp, and actually his blue buff is up now as well, so he'll probably want to give that to Glorious Wabunga. And looks like probably both junglers going to give away the blue buffs here. Charmander not going to want to miss any farm under the tower, though. So in the bottom lane, Hook just barely misses, and ADC is easy, will escape with his life. If that Hook had landed, it would definitely have spelled death for him. So Night Elf Mohawk rotating up here to get some wards down. Does not want to get teleported on by the Twisted Fate, and this ward should be able to spot him if he walks down to do his ultimate. And Charmander picking up his blue. Glorious Wabunga picking up his own blue. And the game's still close here, but now in favor of the Scrublordz. Actually, almost a 1k gold lead at only 8.5 minutes. Looks pretty favorable for Team Kenzo, or for Team Scrublordz. But definitely where that is going to come to a head is at the Dragon Pit. The Shen with his ultimate and with teleport probably going to give them a pretty good advantage there. So it'll be up to the JonTran to maybe push down this top tower, although he does not have much damage on it yet. So Scrublordz might even be able to control this dragon pretty effectively. Charmander actually forced to recall in the mid lane, takes a lot of damage there. And Sean 18 not going to be able to find a gank because Charmander is just recalling. So Frosty Light going to cover the mid lane. And in the bottom, not much going on. Looking at the items, John Tran actually going for a very early Brutalizer. He just wants to win this lane and kill his opponent. Whereas I2 Awesome definitely going for a tankier build, going to probably rush the Sunfire Cape with the Giant's Belt right now. Glorious Wabunga and Frosty Light going at it. Charmander is there in the back. He gets the Shockwave off. The teleport, actually the Shen ultimate does not save Glorious Wabunga there, and Shauna 8T will have to try and get away. The Cell Division is popped, but will he survive? Smite actually being used on one of those creeps. The teleport from Shen to keep Sean 8T alive. Very cleverly played there. That's always fun to see. So I2 Awesome getting tower dive by the John Tran. Looks like that early Brutalizer is going to pay off for him. Now 4-4 in favor of neither team. The gold very close yet again. And in the bottom lane, Night Elf Mohawk is very low. He will go down to ADC as easy, and Politeness trying to get a kill on 2 Sword and a Wand. Will he be able to do it? He does, and Politeness actually gets away maybe? He won't. Oh, the barrier barely saves his life. And Caitlyn will not pick up a kill there. So 5-5, gold still very, very even. And both AD carries with a BF sword. There's a lot of fighting going on there. So Glorious Wabunga's blue buff just expiring there. And Charmander recalling. Maybe they should make a play for this dragon here. A lot of the members of Team Kenzo have recalled, but Shen's ultimate is on cooldown for a couple minutes here. So looks like they're going to be a little conservative in making a play for that. And ADC is easy, has to be careful here. Night Elf Mohawk is in position to get a grab, but he doesn't have an AD carry with him to really do any damage. So ADC is easy, going to recall, and not much action going on at the moment, but this game is very close. Frosty Light puts down his sweeper to clear out wards here, and he will be going for a gank on the mid lane. Both junglers here. This could actually decide who gets the dragon. This fight in mid coming up. The Shockwave on Glorious Wabunga. The axe will land. Frosty Light gets stunned by the gold card. He's going to try to walk away from this, but Let's Bounce doing a lot of damage, and Sean 8T will ultimately walk away. Night Elf Mohawk actually roaming to the mid lane. Gets hit by the gold card and the elastic slingshot. Good chaining of that CC by the Scrublordz, and all members of Team Kenzo will walk away from that. John Tran diving the tower again, but a little bit of an advantage there just due to Night Elf to Scrublordz, just due to Night Elf Mohawk kind of putting himself a little too far forward when he didn't have teammates to follow up. So now Sean 8T wants to maybe make a gank on the mid lane happen or steal a blue buff. I don't think he really has anything to do right now, and of course he was spotted by this purple team ward. Now he's in a little bit of a pickle, but the Twisted Fate ultimate will actually reveal them, and Twisted Fate will grab a kill on the top lane. So well played by them. Scrublordz now up 1 kill, but the gold still very, very even. The farm of Team Kenzo looks like it's keeping them up in this game, especially the John Tran, definitely ahead of his counterpart in the lane. So looks like actually Night Elf Mohawk going for a bit of a tankier build, rushing the Sightstone, whereas 2 Sword and a Wand wants to get the Talisman of Ascension as quickly as possible, be that initiator for his team. And Charmander maybe gonna recall, but actually his blue buff is up, and Glorious Wabunga gonna grab his own blue buff. He has to be careful because his tower, both towers are very low in the mid lane, so if either one of them leave for very long, they could lose it. Night Elf Mohawk lands a grab on the wrong person. 2 Sword and a Wand gets a very good box down, but the ultimate from Politeness. Will 2 Sword and a Wand live? No, he won't. Night Elf Mohawk falling very low. Politeness and ADC is easy are going to battle it out on their own. And the Shen ultimate there, Stand United. making sure that ADC is easy, pulls ahead there. Maybe they can make that play for Dragon now. But in the mid lane, Glorious Wabunga and Sean 8T fighting against Charmander and Frosty Light. Frosty Light dives the tower for that kill, gets the true damage hit, and kills Zac there. So no smite available for the Scrublordz, and they won't be able to make a play for Dragon. Good use of Stand United, however, and teleport to get back up there and save the tower. So definitely Scrublordz not wanting to give away any advantages there. And i2Awesome getting a tank, getting the John Trent to tank the tower with his taunt, and ADC is easy, takes down the bottom tower. So finally a little bit of an advantage going to, back to the Scrublordz after it had evened out a little bit. But it's still not much of an advantage. The kill score is 7-7, and these towers could be evened out at any moment. Especially in the mid lane, it will be exciting to see what kind of action goes on. Two Sword and a Wand gets grabbed, but there's really no follow-up there. He's trying to get away. There's really nothing that Politeness and Night Elf Mohawk can do. Actually, they get the slow, but yeah, no follow-up there. But Two Sword and a Wand putting himself too far forward. Now he may have to recall. He will eat some health potions and be okay. And Frosty Light looking for another gank in the mid lane. He will be spotted by Sean 8T, and both junglers will back away. The John Tran playing very aggressively against i2Awesome. i2Awesome with that tankier build, not able to duel as easily yet. He definitely will want to finish his Sunfire Cape very soon. And looks like some action could be happening in this bottom lane. Sean 8T looking like he wanted to go for a gank there, but can he catch out Charmander? No, he'll get slowed by the command dissonance, and he'll just clear out a ward real quick. So now Two Sword and a Wand, and ADC is easy, pushing up very aggressively. Night Elf Mohawk wanting to make a gank happen in the mid lane, does a point blank grab on Sean 8T. Sean 8T does have Cell Division up, so if he gets caught, it actually could be a bait. The teleport from Shen isn't up, so they can't use that to get the teleport in and save him. But Glorious Wabunga taking a lot of damage. The command dissonance and one more auto attack would have gotten that for Charmander, but not able to pick it up. Both AD carries now have their Bloodthirsters, but Berserker's Greaves, oh! Jinx picking up a kill on Twisted Fate. There, I didn't quite see what happened, but good disengage from the Scrublordz. They have to be careful not to lose this tower. They're going to have to clear the waves very quickly. And the John Tran, of course, picking up the tower on the top. They now have a 1k gold lead. That farm advantage on the top laners is definitely making the difference in this game. So really, that is almost to be expected in this lane. The Rengar is just a much stronger laner than Shen. And oh, ADC is easy, gets grabbed over the wall after Kenzo grabs the dragon, and he's going to go down. So, yeah. Really, what the Scrublordz needs to do to get themselves into this game and pull out the W is make good usage of those Shen ults. If those Shen ults aren't hugely impactful and don't create a large advantage for them, really that Shen pick is wasted. And or, of course, he could just get some awesome flame level taunts on 3 or 4 people, but we'll have to see how good i2Awesome's Shen mechanics are. Actually, Frosty Light has to use his ultimate to get away from Glorious Wabunga here, as he does land the gold card, but he will walk away safely. And now in the bottom lane, we see this tower still has a lot of health, as the Scrublordz pretty definitively won this bottom lane, but of course there's a large difference in the top lane with the John Tran being the playmaker definitely for the Team Kenzo. So not much on the map right now in the way of objectives. Let's talk about the items a little bit. Definitely Olaf, Frosty Light's Olaf, with a more aggressive build. He has the Spirit of the Elder Lizard now, and he's working on the Spirit Visage. Those Spirit items are OP. John Tran blows his ultimate. He's trying to get away here. A Twisted Fate ultimate will reveal him, but a flash will get him over the wall. Will he be able to get out? He does get stunned by the gold card and knocked up by the elastic slingshot, and he's not going to get out of here. Another taunt from I2 Awesome is going to pick up that kill. But in the mid lane, Charmander wants to get this tower. I don't think he'll be able to pick it up just yet. And a lot of action going on there. Really well played gank by the Scrublordz. And of course the Shen ultimate is still up, so they could make a play across the map. Their global presence here is very strong. And it's something that Team Kenzo has to contend with right now. It is the main threat from the Scrublordz. And Charmander just picking up his blue there. Glorious Wabunga picking up his own. Sean 8T gonna grab the wolves. And so yeah, as far as the junglers go, Frosty Light going for the more aggressive early game build, whereas Sean 8T definitely going for the tankier build. Just as far as what their champions are good at, that's how this plays out. But in the mid lane, Charmander gonna pick up this tower. Some action on the bottom lane, but nothing comes of it. And ADC is easy, and 2 sword and 1 have to be careful. If Night Elf Mohawk lands a grab here, Politeness can do so much damage so quickly with the Bloodthirster and the Zeal. Both AD carries going for the same build here. Very effective for tower pushing, which is kind of the meta right now. Killing those towers quickly and having lane sustain to siege and split push. So I2 Awesome still not having a great time against the John Tran, and really staying in lanes is probably going to favor Team Kenzo right now, just because their lanes, particularly the John Tran, is so far ahead that I2 Awesome is not going to be able to get his split push. Maybe once he gets some more tankiness, if he can get the Spirit Visage to sustain up against the Rengar, he can win this lane, but that's going to be hard. And really, that's where he needs to get good Stand United. They need to find something here pretty soon. I don't know. The Dragon probably spawning in about 3 minutes, I want to say. And that will be a good opportunity for the Scrublordz to make something happen. Actually, 2 minutes left on that Dragon now. So ADC is easy. Ooh, be careful. Night Elf Mohawk wants to get a grab here. Will he land it? No, he won't. He wisely backs away, but ADC is easy. Still gets grabbed. He will flash out, and now the Shen ultimate coming across. They have to be careful not to get hit by the shockwave, and ADC is easy, falls very low. He will cast his ultimate and pick up a kill on Night Elf Mohawk. Now Glorious Wabunga gonna land the gold card on Charmander, and Charmander's gonna go down. It's a good shockwave on 3, but it will not do anything. The kill picked up for these Scrublordz, and now perhaps they can push down the mid lane. Actually, I2 Awesome going to go back up to the top lane and deal with the John Tran split push. They do not want to lose a tower here. And although the Scrublordz won a team fight there, they really can't make anything happen. The timing was just a little off because Dragon not available yet. And there's really not any easily accessible towers. And that's where the John Tran being so far ahead in the top lane comes into play. Sean 8T wants to pick up a kill here. He lands the Elastic Slingshot, although he doesn't know it. Gets the slow as well. And the John Tran and Sean 8T going to battle it out. Sean 8T taking a lot of damage from minions with no teammates nearby. He lands another Elastic Slingshot. This is going to be a 2v2 up in the top lane. The John Tran going to sustain himself up with the roar, and they turn it around. The Cell Division coming across. And Frosty Light chasing down I2 Awesome. That's going to be a kill for him. And Sean 8T might actually get away here. He uses his Elastic Slingshot over the wall. Doesn't have his flash available, so he's going to have to try and get away here. Glorious Wabunga is there to help him. Use his Elastic Slingshot to put some distance between him and his opponents. But in the mid lane, Team Kenzo was definitely ready for that. They pick up some kills there, and Charmander gets caught by the death sentence, but a really good shockwave by Charmander will pick up 2 kills for Team Kenzo, and they have firmly established a lead for themselves. The John Tran still in this top lane, gonna get another tower, and with this Bloodthirster and Static Shiv, Politeness can push so fast, and this game is ripped wide open now, just after some really good positional play by Team Kenzo, pushing up that mid lane so that they could cut off Sean 8T as he tried to escape. And now they're going to grab the dragon here. Just get themselves even more of a gold lead. Team Kenzo definitely going to be happy about that. And looks like this game could be wrapping up pretty soon. The ultimate from Twisted Fate going to try to pick up a kill on the Jontran here. The taunt actually misses in the Jontran. Can he get away? That is the question. I don't think he will. So ADC is easy, picks up that kill. But once again, the timing of their kills just isn't right. They're winning fights, but they can't do anything with it because all the waves are pushed in and there's no objectives available for them. And that's a problem that they're going to have to overcome. They're going to have to find a way to get the waves pushed out and time objectives a little better if they want to win this game. The teamwork of Team Kenzo seems to be very strong right now, and Scrublordz wanted to take the dragon there, but it was not available. So they're going to back away. They're actually a bit overextended here in an awkward position. They do have their ultimates ready, so they might be able to win a fight, but with the gold advantage that Team Kenzo has, that seems questionable. They should probably just back away. Now I2Awesome rushing out of base with Home Guard, wants to clear out this minion wave as quickly as possible. He actually, instead of going for the Spirit Visage, has chosen to, looks like, go for a Randuin's. He just wants, that seems like a build that would be much more oriented around team fighting as opposed to split pushing, but the thing is, he needs to be able to go up against this Rengar, and without the Spirit Visage to sustain him, I don't know if he can do that. So Team Kenzo positioning very aggressively. They want to get this kill on Frosty Light, but Kenzo is ready for them. This is a 3v5, and Shockwave on one, but it doesn't matter because Team Kenzo will pick up a kill on the Twisted Fate. I2Awesome not going to live much longer, and Sean8T should just get his butt out of there. So that was a 2-for-0 for Team Kenzo, and of course they have so much control of the map. Still the tier 1 up for Scrublordz, but the bottom side of the map really isn't where the action is going on. There's been a lot of action revolving around the Jontran and his extremely powerful Rengar. I really think the key to beating Kenzo might be to ban out the Jontran's strong champions, because he always gets a lead in that top lane and he always creates a huge problem for the opposing team. And that is definitely something that you can't let happen. If anything, the Scrublordz just need to pick a stronger champion in lane so that they don't fall so far behind in the top lane and just get completely destroyed by the Jontran split pushing them in. So Kenzo will pick up the Baron there, and the gold lead approaching 10k. This game could be over pretty soon. Still no inhibitors down, and of course anything could happen if the Scrublordz find a perfect team fight. They definitely could still get back into this game, but again, they need to find that perfect team fight with the perfect timing so that they can take some objectives, start to take back some of this gold lead, and that's going to be the difficult part. Actually, I2Awesome and 2 Sword and a Wand two-manning in this top lane just so that they can get it pushed out a little bit. And the thing is, with that extra pressure on the top lane, Politeness going to easily be able to push out this bottom lane. And Sean8T caught out here. The Shockwave will make sure that he doesn't get away, as well as the hook. And they're going to go ahead and go on the Cell Division. Will he use the teleport? Yes, he will, to save that blob. And Sean8T just going to back away. Charmander caught out with the Shadow Dash. But Jontran still in the top lane, still hitting this tower. So the Scrublordz really need to win this fight. ADC is easy, chasing down Politeness. Will the Baron buff be enough to win this fight? No, it won't. ADC is easy, picks up the kill there. And meanwhile, over here, Glorious Wabunga falling very low. 2 Sword and a Wand pops a Randuin to try and peel Frosty Light off, but it's just not enough. He flays Frosty Light backwards, but Frosty Light is going to pick up this kill. And ADC is easy, nowhere nearby to help. So overall, that was a 2-for-3, actually in favor of the Scrublordz. So not bad for them, but the Jontran just continues to push in this top lane. But actually, he might go down here. This could be pretty bad for Team Kenzo as a team fight loss and a member dying, but Frosty Light picks up a kill under the tower on the Caitlyn, and John Tran will get away. So Team Kenzo still holding that lead, but a little bit of a misfire on that team fight. Of course, they did get Shen to use his teleport. His Stand United is still up, however, so that's something that Team Kenzo definitely needs to keep in mind. And with 2 open inhibitors, if they have another team fight and the John Tran is able to continue split pushing, it might just be game over because the John Tran will be able to grab these 2 open inhibitors. But the Scrublordz will have to think of a way to come back from this, because I can't think of a way. And of course, they're in the finals for a reason, so definitely, if anyone will come up with a way to pull this game out, it will be the Scrublordz, and they've done a pretty good job so far. It's just they haven't been able to control those objectives like they need to. And ADC is easy pretty far forward with his positioning. Should probably back up a little bit. Frosty Light going to miss the axe there. And John Tran going to push out. ADC is easy, just trying to get some poke down. Really doesn't do anything. Frosty Light and Night Elf Mohawk just so tanky there. They can just sustain up as well with the Baron buff. So now they're just waiting for the John Tran to get pushed up on this bottom lane so that they can force a split engagement. Sean8T not going to go in with that Elastic Slingshot. Now John Tran joining his team. He actually takes a lot of damage from the Caitlyn there. Shadow Dash hits 1, and the John Tran going in pretty deep to dive here. Politeness picks up the inhibitor, but really good box actually zones out this Kenzo, but a huge shockwave splits this team fight wide open, and Politeness going to pick up some kills there. He actually will go down. I thought maybe the Command Protect would save him there, but oh my gosh. Charmander is so huge right now. He is just destroying all of the Scrublordz, and definitely Orianna getting some huge shockwaves in this game will get a win for his team. It's not over just yet, but it will be pretty soon, folks, and we'll be ready to get into game 2. Clarissa Bunga coming out with Home Guard, wants to pick up a kill on Charmander here, but he just takes way too much damage from a single combo from Charmander, and he'll have to back away. Of course, his Home Guard was stopped by the minions there as well, and the dragon is up, so Team Kenzo pinging that heavily. Charmander, though, is caught. He'll get hit by the ace in the hole, and Scrublordz will pick up a kill, but with 2 inhibitors down, they don't have a whole lot of hope yet. John Tran gonna pick up this kill on Glorious Wabunga, but can he get away alive? That's the real question. I don't know if he can. He'll get taunted by the Shadow Dash. 2 sword and a 1. Lands the grab. ADC is easy, gonna pick up a kill for himself. And little bit of an overextension by the members of Team Kenzo. They thought they could pick up some kills, but it cost them their lives. And Night Elf Mohawk just tanking the dragon for a little while. I guess he's going to decide to take that by himself. He's actually working on what looks like a Mora mana. Just because, you know, he's doing fine for himself. With that late game support build, he is able to get a lot of items, and 2 Scar Awards in a row. I don't know. A little round of applause there for Night Elf Mohawk, everybody. I feel bad for Scara. In like 50 years, the only thing he'll be remembered for is the Scar Award. But anyway, back to this game. All that Team Kenzo really has to do to end this game now is push through this bottom lane with 2 inhibitors down. Of course, those inhibitors do respawn very quickly, but with 2 inhibitors down, there's so much pressure on the map that they can easily take these towers on the bottom lane. And looks like they're even going to go in kind of split. Some members of Kenzo kind of waiting to set something up here. The sweeping lens does come down just to give them the certainty that they are not spotted so that they can make this pick here. And Team Kenzo will group up towards the bottom lane. I2 Awesome is sitting in the top lane, just keeping the minion wave pushed out so that it doesn't hit the base with that 1 Nexus turret left. And ADC is easy. Really should be careful about his positioning here. He may have to flash to get away. Night Elf Mohawk flashes for the grab, gets the punch. Night Elf Mohawk, though, taking a lot of damage. And a Shockwave hits 2 sword and a wand, but the Stand United will save him. Frosty Light, though, in the backline doing a ton of damage. And Frosty Light will slay him. Now Politeness, though, doing a lot of damage from the backline. Charmander will go down. ADC is easy, is on a killing spree, gets a double kill, and looks like, actually, the Scrublordz will come out with a win there. And, oh, Glorious Wabunga wants to pick up a kill on Politeness. He actually does it, and the ace for the Scrublordz. Really well played there. Looks like Team Kenzo just got a little impatient. But the Scrublordz still have to clean up minions in their base. Their inhibitors will respawn here, so that will be good for them. But they'll have to win a lot more team fights like that before they can manage to create any kind of a lead for themselves where they can hope to win this game. But I believe that they can make a comeback. The Baron is live. Perhaps if the Scrublordz go for it right now, they could grab the Baron for themselves and stall that timer a little bit longer so that maybe they can start to get an advantage back for themselves. But I don't think they're even thinking about the Baron right now. And Team Kenzo is going to respawn, so I think the window of opportunity for this Baron has gone. They're still grouping towards it. There's no wards from Team Kenzo, so a desperation Baron looks like it is the plan for Team Scrublordz. The box right now is on cooldown. Whereas Shockwave, the thing that is winning team fights for Team Kenzo, if it lands properly, is available. So actually the box now is going to be available for this team fight. It will be an all-out brawl, and Night Elf Mohawk gets caught. This could be what the Scrublordz needed to come back from this. Night Elf Mohawk just putting himself out of position, and perhaps this is the throwing, the intentional trolling that Kenzo likes to do, or perhaps Scrublordz is just a very strong team. So ADC is easy, getting jumped on by the John Tran, but a lot of peel for him. He uses the barrier, and looks like Purple Team, though, is able to zone off the Scrublordz from Baron and pick it up. So although there was some really good peel for ADC is easy, they will pick up the Baron and triple quadra kill. Actually, not quite the quad yet. They will give him the quad for Politeness, and ADC's easy is so low. But I think Kenzo probably is more interested in winning the game. So they'll pick up one inhibitor, and they're just going to rush for the Nexus turret here. Well played team fight by them to pick up the Baron buff. And that's going to be game one going to Team Kenzo. It was very close, very back and forth, but ultimately they get the win. So Scrublordz probably going to have to rethink their picks and bans for the next game to deal with the John Tran. And I thought maybe I was going to have a co-caster, but he's in the game again. So, anyway, pretty close game, 27-30 in that. And ADC is easy, doing a lot of work there. Won some 1v1 fights against Politeness, and their bottom lane definitely held out. Even won, but the real problem that has really won Kenzo a lot of games is the John Tran on whatever champion he plays. He will probably receive some target bans next game. So yeah, that was game one for Team Kenzo, and hopefully we'll be able to get game two started here pretty quick. But hello, look at my wonderful smiling face. I'm your caster, Tyler Meatboy Morgan, and get hyped because we're going to get into game two pretty soon. I'm just waiting for an invite from the teams to get into the game. So I'll go ahead and go on a break real quick here. that was a quick break, but we're back and ready for game 2. I guess that's an inside joke by Team Kenzo, that they go 0 something until politeness carried them. So actually, I probably will have a co-caster here pretty soon. And that should be pretty good. But right now, we are in picks and bans. The Shen ban, actually from Team Kenzo. They don't want to deal with that again, despite the John Tran winning lane there. They just don't want to deal with it. And the Caitlyn ban, Kenzo definitely respecting the champions that the Scrublordz did well with. The Olaf ban coming from the Scrublordz, so definitely both teams rethinking their strategies after game 1. The Quadra is real. Don't know if real Loco Doco or not. So the cast ban from Kenzo. No, it's not the real Loco Doco. Not real Reno. Real streaming. Dude, I just checked. You're not. But Frosty Light will pick up that Shyvana first pick. Since there are so many target bans happening, looks like some more overpowered champions might get through this game. That will be very exciting. And ADC is easy, going to grab the Thresh again. He played, or Two Sword and a Wand played quite well on the Thresh last game, and Glorious Wabunga locking in the Fizz for himself, the champion he says he likes so much. Without that double teleport strategy available from Shen and from Twisted Fate, probably won't be as potent to have the Twisted Fate this game. Night Elf Mohawk locking in his Blitzcrank, which he loves so much, and Politeness looks like he wants to play that Lucian. Really surprised that we haven't seen a whole lot of Sivir yet. That's a very strong champion, but I guess people just don't get a whole lot of opportunities to practice it because it gets banned so often. And now Night Elf Mohawk actually looks like he wants to lock in the Cassiopeia for Charmander. And switching back and forth, there's really no reason for them to actually lock in the Blitzcrank yet because they know what their opponent's support is. No reason for them to need to secure a support, but they may want to grab it anyway. And actually now switching over to the Alistar, and that will be what he locks in, so never mind going back to the Blitzcrank. He was trolling me. Two Sword and a Wand hovering over the Fiora. Somehow I doubt we're going to see that, but maybe. We saw a Katarina yesterday, which was definitely interesting. And now over the Teemo. Yeah, Two Sword and a Wand is trolling. I2 Awesome, though, with the Volibear. Actually, it looks like he may want to play that because he does have Ghost and Ignite, which is something that you would run on Volibear. Now the Vayne does get locked in, so Vayne Thresh, that's going to be a lot of peel for Vayne. He's going to be able to be in the backline and do a lot of damage. Charmander now hovering over the Ezreal. Are they going to run the double AD carry strategy? That would be very interesting, very Korean style of them. It could be the Ezreal or the Lucian mid. I don't really know how they would want to run that. I think that Lucian would probably do a little better against the Vayne, but Charmander now switching over to the Syndra. Guys. So the John Tran looks like he'll get his Rengar again. He really likes that pick. Feels confident that he can win lane with it. And we'll have to see how I2 Awesome's Volibear fares against that. Although the Volibear could also be in the jungle. We'll have to see. So the Zac is available. If the Scrublordz want to grab that, that is something that, of course, has been very popular for them so far. But actually, Evelyn is open. And of course, with the changes to pink wards, Evelyn is a champion that's very hard to deal with. She can grab a scrying orb and check for pink wards in the brush. Sean 8T trolling with the Fiora again. And let's just wait a minute here, see what he actually picks. So I'm going to go ahead and get in raid call here with my buddy Arzesh once he downloads it. And I'm going to have a co-caster. So actually the Zach will be locked in. My predictions were correct. I am psychic. You should let me co-cast. I don't know, maybe, dude. Maybe. Or maybe not. We actually have quite a few viewers here. Let's get a viewer count. Your team is trolling you, bro. It seems like a little sketchy. So we have everyone locked in. I'll be back in a little bit after this break. All right, we are in the game. Game 2 of Kenzo versus the Scrublordz. Should be awesome. I'm just waiting for my co-caster to show up in the raid call. He just downloaded it, so we're waiting for him, but the game is on. So let me real quick get the Spotify window out. And okay, on the blue side, we've got Frosty Light on the Shyvana jungle, Politeness on the AD carry Lucian, Night Elf Mohawk on the support Blitzcrank Charmander on the Syndra mid, and John Tran on his wonderful, extremely strong Rengar that he carried with last game. Glorious Wabunga on the other side of the Scrublordz with the Fizz mid. ADC is easy with the Vayne AD carry. Two Sword and a Wand with the Thresh support. I2 Awesome with the Volibear top, which hopefully will fare better against the John Trans Rengar, and Sean 8T with the Jungle Zac. Night Elf Mohawk trying to get a grab into that brush, get that first blood, but he is not going to find it just yet. And hopefully Arzesh will show up in this raid call. So meanwhile, Frosty Light going to grab his red buff and then head up to the blue buff. And Sean 8T gonna grab his own blue buff. So that's happening. Sorry, I'm trying to like figure out the co-caster stuff and cast at the same time. It's a little bit of a mess. But Night Elf Mohawk landing a grab on Two Sword and One. Two Sword and One already has to flash, tries to get the death sentence in response, but doesn't land it. So flash already burned by Two Sword and a Wand, and this should be a pretty difficult lane for ADC is easy and Two Sword and a Wand. Vayne not the greatest early game carry, and both junglers just clearing all of their camps. Frosty Light deciding to clear his wolves and his race on the way to blue buff, realizing that he jungles a lot faster than Sean 8T, so he can get more experience in the jungle. He probably will just want to farm up. Actually, Frosty Light definitely likes to play those farming junglers. Played Olaf last game and it got banned, so Sean 8T not even actually grabbing his red buff yet. And Frosty Light heading up to the top lane for perhaps a gank on I2 Awesome. So Charmander already getting aggressed on by Glorious Wabunga. Glorious Wabunga has to be careful not to get stunned here. He does dodge out on that. And Charmander very low, but of course does have his pot left. So both champions already having used their pot. This will be definitely an exciting mid lane to watch. And Frosty Light has been sitting up here for quite a while. Looks like now he's going to go in for the gank on I2 Awesome. Will get his auto attack reset, but not too much damage going down there. And I2 Awesome will walk away. So in the mid lane, this is what I'm really excited to watch. This is already looking like a very fun matchup. And Frosty Light playing aggressively, positioning himself for this gank in the mid lane. Will Glorious Wabunga will be able to get out here. Sean 8T for the counter gank. Ignite goes down on Glorious Wabunga as well as Frosty Light, and first blood will go to Charmander. So well played by Kenzo to pick up that first blood. Okay, so in the bottom lane, Politeness and Night Elf Mohawk with a bit of a lead so far. Actually, I take that back. They don't even have a lead. I should have probably looked before I said that. But anyway, pretty back and forth here in the bottom lane. In the top lane, John Tran definitely with a lead yet again. That gank from Shyvana pushed I2 Awesome back, and John Tran is able to stun up I2 Awesome, deny him a little bit of CS there. Sean 8T perhaps looking for a gank on the bottom lane. He can go over this wall, and it's a very powerful gank from Zach. Hard to deal with. Two Sword and a Wand will miss his grab there, but actually Flay gets Night Elf, Mohawk, and Politeness in range, and now Two Sword and a Wand chasing after, but nothing going to come from that, and both teams will back away from that. The minion wave was too large for really the Scrublordz to do anything further. So now Charmander and Glorious Wabunga in the mid lane, both level 5. Basically a stalemate here. Charmander a little bit ahead in CS, simply due to the advantage of being a range champion. It's a little easier for him to farm. And really, Glorious Wabunga should have realized picking Fizz, he's not going to have a great time in the early game. It's going to be his ganks once he hits level 6 that really matter. So Shyvana picking up the second red buff? Maybe not. I guess she was doing the race there. Yeah, the red buff will spawn in 1 minute. So yeah, let me get this co-caster stuff figured out. Two Sword and a Wand, just playing a little safe, not going for super aggressive hooks, because of course if he goes out into the open he'll get grabbed by Night Elf Mohawk. And Night Elf Mohawk loves his Blitzcrank. Now in the mid lane, Sean 8T looking for a bit of a gank here. He is sitting on a ward, so he'll go ahead and sweep that out, deal with that. That won't be a problem for him anymore. And now Frosty Light gonna recall and probably take his red buff. Sean 8T charging up the Elastic Slingshot. Doesn't go in on it though. And Kenzo's bottom lane recalls. They really, the thing about the Blitzcrank pick is if it works, if you can get some good grabs, it's very strong. But it's not actually a great support for laning. He doesn't harass really at all. He just has that zone potential with his hooks. So Politeness, being that aggressive, Lucian can't really take advantage of that because Blitzcrank won't be there in fights to help him as much. Not having a ranged auto attack or anything like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into a TeamSpeak server with my buddy Arzesh here. And it's gonna be awesome. So excuse me for a moment. If there's any action, I will switch over to the game.
Connected. Channel switch.
Hello, hello. This is my buddy Alex Arjesh Nauda, and I am your main caster, Tyler Meatboy Morgan. Right now it is 1-0 in favor of Team Kenzo. They're about 1.5k gold ahead. And are you spectating the game?
I am. I'm watching it.
All right.
I'm watching it right now on the Twitch. I'm gonna actually hop into the game.
All right, let me turn you up a little bit. You're a little quiet here, if I can find that. Okay, so do you want to do color casting or do you want to do play-by-play?
I'll follow you. I mean, play-by-play is more of my style.
All right.
How it is.
So you can go ahead and do that, and I will do the color casting. Looks like Vayne, ADC is easy. Wants to get that early Blade of the Ruin King. Has the Bilgewater Cutlass right now, and Glorious Wabunga grabbing 2 Duran's rings for, of course, the early game tankiness, so he can have a little less of a disadvantage against the range of Charmander's Syndra. And in the top lane, I completely missed that. Were you watching that to see what was going on?
Nope, hopping in right now, loading in, the spectating right this moment. So
All right.
should be in there shortly. Let's go ahead.
All right, so anyway, that was, I believe, the John Tran picking up a kill on I2 Awesome, and this is where it begins, my friend, because last game and in every game so far in this tournament, John Tran gets a lead in lane, and he just does not let up. He will play aggressively, buy aggressive items, and just be such a huge threat for the enemy team that no matter what happens, they can't deal with it. Hopefully, for the Scrublordz, that is not what happens this game, because it could lead to a 2-0 and victory for Team Kenzo.
Yeah, I think right now the Shyvana pick is definitely going to be a strong pushing champion that'll be a threat and a ace for push threat throughout the game, and so they're going to have to pay attention.
Yeah, Blitzcrank landing a grab there on 2 Sword and a Wand, but Sean AT coming over the wall.
Loading in still.
Okay, so
I'm in.
Politeness now with a kill, 1 for 1 in the fight. Are you in there yet?
Just doing a time check right now. Are you at 11 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it just seems like there was a dragon fight around dragons in both teams.
Yeah, 2 for 1 in favor of Team Kenzo.
Assume they're going to stay bot lane, force Zane and Fizz out.
Yeah, so Fizz now picking up his Sheen, and actually the John Tran getting jumped on by I2 Awesome. He pops his ultimate, but John Tran pops his own ultimate. Will he go under tower? John Tran now.
Looks like he's going to be taking some hurt. He pops his W, gets some health back, getting tight in. And it's going to be a double kill, one for one on the top lane.
Oh, I thought his passive was going to save him there, but he does not get away from the tower.
Nope. Last tick, just in the range of that last turret shot. We'll
So,
take the ball there down.
yeah, Renkar, John Tran actually deciding to go all in, picks up a bone tooth necklace for himself. So, and a chain vest. So, if that works out for him, he will snowball this game. If it doesn't, it'll be a little bit of wasted gold. Glorious Wabunga dodging out in the mid lane there.
Brush lands a hook on Politeness on bot lane. Politeness easy away from that pretty safely. But we do have Sean 8T setting up for a game. He just realizes it's warded and walks away.
Alright, so in the mid lane, Charmander puts down a ward on top of a ward. I don't know why exactly, but he did. And in the top lane, Frosty Light setting up for a gank. We'll see what happens here. The John Tran gonna try to get himself some stacks.
I mean, with the new vision changes, ward on top of a ward could be a new strat. I mean, it could be next level stuff that we don't know about. Yeah.
Maybe, we don't know. John Tran gets the slow on I2 Awesome, and Frosty Light's just sitting there. I2 Awesome goes aggressive.
Going in. Here we go. It looks like they're going to make a dive on I2 that his passive is down from the last fight. And they're going to pick that up pretty easily.
Frosty Light uses his ultimate. That seems a little questionable, but now Charmander coming up to this top lane. Looks like they really want this tower. I think they recognize that since they went up to the top lane, that Team Scrublordz could grab the dragon. They're not actually doing that, but by taking the top lane tower, in theory, they would be trading that for the dragon. But it's just a tower for nothing in this scenario, and they're going to keep pushing.
They're going to keep pushing because this mid lane, as potent as he's going to be, he's not going to be able to push that down very fast.
Looks like Sean AT really wants to go in on the John Tran here. He used his ultimate, and the John Tran tries to get away. He actually jukes through the brush.
Going to the left now. I'm heading over towards Dragon Pit. They're actually going to collapse on this. This should be a pickup. They'll probably end up giving this over to Fizz.
Oh, the John Tran with the jukes! The jukes! But he won't get away. He is gonna lose some of his stacks there. And that's a little unfortunate for him.
They kind of just set up a triangle around Rengar to make sure that he wasn't going anywhere. He could juke for only so long.
Yeah. I don't think he was even stealth there. I think they just stopped attacking him for a second.
Like I
But
said, it looked like they were going to try to give that over to their mid lane carry. But
yeah.
Fizz missing his title trickster there. Oh, we got to play bot lane. Fresh flashes in, throws down the box, lands the play. ADC up, counter pull by Blitz, and it looks like Zane.
ADC is easy, really wants this. The flash, though, will make sure that Blitz gets away.
Yep, that was a great play, great counter pull by Blitz. Very, very strong initiate by Thresh. Looked like they would have been able to clean that up, but a good silence from Blitz, and then a good counter pulse flash.
Yeah, ADC is easy, getting a little greedy there. I think perhaps he could have just walked away from that.
Meanwhile, at the Dragon Pit, Frosty Light picked up Dragon for free by himself during that fight.
Yeah, so this is a pretty large gold lead at this point for Team Kenzo. And it's not boding well for the Scrublordz. I think perhaps the bans from the last game, getting rid of a lot of Scrublord's favorite champions, have really allowed Team Kenzo to be more potent in this game, getting rid of the Shen so that they can't have that teleport to win some fights.
Yep.
And I2 Awesome just recalling, he realizes he's not going to be able to deal with the John Tren right now, and especially how much he's been getting ganked. He seems like his state of mind is to just be afraid of his opponents, which is not a good state of mind to be in if your goal is to win. But in the bot lane, stacking up for Team Kenzo. Maybe some action here. Frosty Light just going to take his golems. And
Sean going to rotate mid to hold back while Fizz goes back.
oh, the stun from Syndra. Almost picks up the kill there, and Sean
Wow.
8T has to flash out.
Yeah. Fizz will be back in the lane shortly, but he'll be a level down. And
Yeah.
Syndra's still rocking that blue buff, so she's going to have poke on him for days.
Alright. So. Actually, it seems like the way it's working out is you're doing a lot more of the color, and I'm doing a lot more of the play-by-play. So, do you want to go ahead and switch that up officially?
Sure.
Alright, let's do it. John Tran goes in on Glorious Wabunga. He gets the stun across. Glorious Wabunga goes in on him in response, but Glorious Wabunga actually flashes away to pick up this kills. Can Charmander pick it up? Glorious Wabunga tries to juke, but the Ignite will pick up the kill there.
Yeah, it was a good play by Syndra to roam in and just save for ultimate with this belief
So
back up
on the
and
bottom
just
lane,
use it.
Kenzo going deep here. Sean 8T tries to respond with an elastic slingshot. Two-sword of Nawan though caught under the tower, and he's not going to live. Sean 8T pops Let's Bounce. Can they pick up Politeness? He uses the barrier. Vayne, ADC is easy, will pick up that kill, and with the ward in the brush, Night Elf Mohawk has nowhere to go. ADC is easy, will not pick up this kill because he's going to get cast, and meanwhile in the mid lane, I2 Awesome grabbing Syndra.
Volley Bear smartly noticing that Rengar had recalled, rotated down mid, realized that Syndra had no ignite, had no flash, picked up that kill, and returned for free.
Yeah, so looks like Scrublordz staying pretty composed despite being at a disadvantage right now.
It's a 3k gold lead right now. They're one drag down, but the rotations by their team, it's really keeping them in this game. They're moving well, and this looks like they're in good communication with each other.
Yeah, they did that very well last game, although they did have a lot of teleports. They had Shen with teleport, and they had Twisted Fate, so they had a lot of global presence. They are still having good rotations. Really the reason they lost the last game was just they were winning fights, but they weren't winning fights at the right time, so they couldn't pick up objectives. So maybe this game they'll be able to do a little bit better about that. ADC.
Yeah, it's always fun shoutcasting where you miss the first game, and so you're coming in, you're trying to wing it, you're trying to figure out, what the team's play styles, and obviously Kenzo up 1-0 in the best of 3, so
Yeah.
here I am trying to figure it out.
Yeah, Team Kenzo definitely is the favorites here, but Scrublordz has done surprisingly well against them, actually. I am impressed. And on the bottom lane, Team Kenzo picking up the turret, but Politeness gets grabbed. ADC is easy, wants to get this kill. He is going very deep, a good flay, and that'll be a kill for ADC is easy, maybe 2, but Night Elf Mohawk running away.
By the time that, current's still up, so he's gonna get a go. Oh,
Two-sword Nawan gets grabbed. That probably wasn't the best choice, but Night Elf Mohawk gonna go down under this tower. ADC is easy. Doesn't even care that he takes like 3 tower hits, but John Tran rotating down.
I mean, at that point, you gotta type worth and make that official. Night Elf thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of
Believe
course
Dragon
it's
should
worth.
be coming up here shortly. Exactly.
But yeah, the Dragon in 1:15. That will be an interesting fight for sure. with the execute damage from Volibear, they might be able to get a smite and an execute with some good timing and steal a dragon, or they could just win a fight because they're really not that far behind. If they play it well, especially with how strong ADC is easy now, they might be able to win.
Yeah, I think they would want to at least dance around or force a dragon fight. With all of their AoE, that would definitely be a good spot to either turn this game around, get the objective, get the gold, and possibly win a good team fight. They're definitely in close areas.
I think they need to be careful.
Yeah.
I do think they need to be careful about sieging for too long, because against Charmander with that stun and against Blitzcrank, Night Elf Mohawk with the Blitzcrank grab, if you siege for too long, there's the threat of one of your teammates just getting picked off. So they will want to pretty rapidly initiate a fight, which they can do with this team composition.
Definitely.
Glorious Wapunga gets caught by stun, but yeah.
A little poke for his weird saying, hey, you're going that way, I'm going to make sure that I know you're there.
I2Awesome and JonTron going at it in the top lane, really no one gaining any traction there. And in the mid lane, Sean8T goes in and goes out.
Fizz using his ult there to zone, and once that's down, they're easily pushed down the tower.
Yeah. Alright, Charmander putting himself in a little bit of a risky position, but he's going to walk away, and Team Kenzo is going to go for this dragon.
Yep. They realized that Zac and Fizz were both half health. They forced that turret and brilliantly rotated the dragon, having the timer on it, from Shyvana soloing it earlier. So that puts them 2 dragons up uncontested.
Yeah. Oh, Sean8T taking an ignite there. He does have his passive up. It gets popped there, and I2Awesome will pick up the kill on Rengar. And in the mid lane, 2 Sword and a Wand wants to get this grab on Charmander. He lands it, and Glorious Wapunga does not have his ultimate available just yet. He will actually get ulted by Charmander, but Frosty Light going to try to clean this up. Glorious Wapunga will go down to Frosty Light, so good turnaround there, but it's a 1-for-1. And ADC is easy coming from the back, uses the Blade of the Ruined King on Frosty Light. Really good condemn on to him, and he'll pick up the kill with the 3rd Silver Bolt proc.
After this, I'm buying ADC's easy guide to Vayne, because that could be very useful.
Yeah, so a fight here near the blue buff. ADC is easy, uses his barrier, but Politeness able to do so much burst on that Lucian. He flashes away from Sean8T as the Elastic Slingshot comes across, and both teams will walk away. No kills.
Yeah, this is the point where you were talking about the Blitzcrank pick earlier. This is the point where the Blitz pick is always kind of questioned by teams. He's very strong if he lands his hooks, but at this point of the game, Vayne can literally almost 3 Silver Bolt him completely down. So if you miss his hook, not only are you putting your team at a disadvantage, but you're also opening up the door for a counter jump. So they can just jump right onto you, and that Vayne is getting some items, and it's becoming very scary. So.
Yeah, that's where Kenzo needs to have a pretty large lead so that they can force sieges and put the Scrublordz in a position where they have to hold towers and fight against objectives and put themselves at risk of being grabbed by Blitzcrank.
Yep. Which, speaking of, we almost had a grab on Thresh over by the blue buff.
Yeah. So actually, it looks like the Scrublordz will want to group up in this top lane. Shark lands, JonTron is caught out, and there's no way he's getting out of this. Pops his ultimate, and ADC is easy, has his number, but actually he jukes backwards again. The stealth lasting for a very long time. Can he get away from this?
Pops his W, gets a little bit of health regen. Pops Let's Bounce.
Yeah. The Let's Bounce, though, gets the CC that they needed to secure that kill. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're fine.
Alright, siege happening here on the bottom lane. This is really what Kenzo wants, but Night Elf Mohawk gets grabbed. ADC is easy, though. That was not what they wanted. 2 Sword and a Wand, putting his AD carry in danger. And that'll be a kill for Kenzo and a tower. 2 Sword and a Wand of course, has to be careful. He might get dived here. Frosty Light doesn't care about the tower. He's going to go deeper. Puts the locket down. And Sean 8T coming in. Glorious Wabunga going to try to pick up some kills here. He's actually so far surviving with low health. Frosty Light going to dive him. The troll pull will save his life, and the double kill goes to Zach. But still, tower going down on this top lane, the inhibitor tower. And I2 Awesome though.
Inhib. No walk away.
Yeah. I2 Awesome did pick up the tier 1 tower on the top lane, so not all sad faces for the Scrublordz, but still not looking good for them.
No, right now it just seems like they're really struggling on all fronts. They're losing Division War, they're losing the Gold War. They've had 2 dragons that have went uncontested. Lucian is positioned very well. What they need is to get a catch out on him, and from that point on, maybe get them burst him down with a Zach Hook bounce or Bane focus on him. But Blitzcrank showing up big in that fight with his clutch hook on Bane.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, looks like Scrublordz may want to go for a Baron here. Charmander picking up his blue. And it would be interesting to see a Baron fight here because the Scrublordz seem to actually be winning these team fights because, of course, the strength of Kenzo lies elsewhere. And Baron would be an interesting place for both teams to be.
Yeah. Especially with Dragon being up in a minute, they could be setting up for a counterplay. One team going for Dragon, the other one realizing they're a Dragon and rotating to Baron.
Yeah, well, Kenzo on the blue side here could do an objective very quickly. Of course, Syndra puts out a lot of DPS, Shyvana puts out a lot of DPS, Lucian puts out a lot of DPS, so they could always just do the Dragon, quickly rotate to Baron, and stop the Scrublordz from doing something. Ooh, Hook almost lands from 2 sword and a wand there. Let's go ahead and look at the item builds if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I kind of hopped in mid-game, so I haven't really caught up with the whole item build. But
that's quite
right
alright.
now, and they're not really lined up. But Lucian, Vayne, pretty much dead even in farm, dead even in kills. Vayne looks to be picking up that last whisper here pretty soon. That will help tremendously if I'm kiting the Shyvana if she dives in. So Vayne looking for a little more gold, a few more minions should actually pick that up for her. Lucian going, not the traditional Lucian build. Normally we've been seeing the Bloodthirster into a Trinity Force. This time he looks like he rushed Trinity Force to Last Whisper to be able to deal with that Volibear and Thresh. So
Yeah.
ADC's pretty much locked up, pretty even. And then probably one of my favorite items, this is just a personal tactic preference, but the Talisman on Thresh. Talisman, in my opinion right now, is one of the best items that sports can have.
Yeah, so actually ADC is easy, needs to be careful here. The Scrublordz picked up a dragon while the Jontran was split pushing. Kenzo was a little bit timid to pull the trigger on an engagement there because, of course, they can't team fight super effectively in the Jontran. Popping his ultimate, I don't really know exactly what he intended to achieve there. But a dragon picked up for the Scrublordz. And let's see, how close is Vayne to getting that last whisper? I think she could actually afford it if she went back right now. So,
yeah. I think that's actually why she's finishing off great.
Sean 8T goes in on politeness.
They go in.
Night Elf Mohawk gets caught, but he has so much tankiness with that mana barrier, and now politeness in the front, trying to save his support. Probably not the best plan. The barrier actually saves him for a little while, but not for long enough, and now Frosty Light actually doing that 1v5 Shyvana, but Glorious Wabunga gonna get away. A box slows down Charmander, but there's no follow-up damage, and looks like actually a 1-for-0 as both teams get away with very low health.
Purple team's turret has been
Purple
destroyed.
team limping away from that fight, but they gotta be happy with how that
But of
fight
course,
turned out.
that was a 4v5 because the Jontran was in the top lane picking up a tower, and this is what he does. He just wins lane and keeps laning.
Yeah, he seems to be just bullying the Volibear. He's up 65 at this point. He's an item ahead, just split pushing like a boss. And I mean, as close as that fight was.
Oh, Charmander, be careful! The flash from Thresh, but nothing happens quite there.
Nice knockback there by Syndra.
Yeah, saving her butt. John Mander, of course, a very strong mid laner. The matchup between he and Glorious Wabunga has been very interesting in both of these games so far. And I really want to see Scrublordz come back from this because a game 3 would be super awesome to watch.
Absolutely. I think so too. Now that I'm getting affiliated with the team, watching both play styles, I think it would be a really good game to watch.
Yeah.
Secretly, I'm rooting for the purple team. Just this game. Just so I can
So
see game
secretly,
3.
nobody
So.
should know. John Tran's
No
so
one should
tanky.
know.
Glorious Wabunga goes in perhaps mistakenly, but it's a bait because ADC is easy, is coming in, puts down the condemn, and John Tran fails his flash. Glorious Wabunga will come down from his troll pole and get the kill there, and now perhaps they can go for a Baron, but Kenzo wants to keep up the pressure and push down this mid lane.
This is a good play by Purple. Although they
Oh, Night Elf Mohawk is
Rengar
caught.
just got out.
Zanya's from Glorious Wabunga and a full-on team fight has broken out. Politeness just trying to get away from this Volibear, and Volibear actually will go down as Kenzo manages to pile up on top of him, and that's actually a win for Kenzo in a 4v5, as we have been seeing.
I really like what Kenzo did there. Rengar gets caught out in the top lane. They viewed that as an opportunity to push down the mid lane. They
Yeah.
moved there, realizing that Purple Team would possibly be setting up for a Baron.
And a
Keep
pick-off
the pressure on.
Syndra there. But yeah, Kenzo very strong with that positional play. That's where they have gained their advantages in all of these games. And Vayne finally picking up that last Whisper. The Hourglass in that last fight turned out to be a pretty big difference. Glorious Wabunga did live through that, and now they're going for the Baron. Will
Going up the
Kenzo
Baron,
respond?
Cleared up some wards. They realize that Shyvana is bot, so this is a very good opportunity for them to pick it up, knowing that there's no chance of a cleanse here.
Actually, I don't know if I2 Awesome should be in the bottom lane because they really need all of their members to win a team fight, but they do pick up the Baron, and Night Elf Mohawk might go down here. He will, and Politeness just has to run away.
Yep, this was a misplay by Frosty Light, knowing full well that Baron was up. Her being the one that split push bot. I would not say that was the right time.
So now that Scrublordz has this Baron, how do you think this game will play out? Do you think that Scrublordz will be able to put some more pressure down?
I think at this point in the game, them being 3k gold down, them kind of realizing that they've lost, or they went 1-for-1 in a 4v5 fight. This may be the opportunity to push. My guess is that they're just going to take this time to farm up the jungle, push some lanes, get their positional back, get some vision control back, and then use that to move forward.
Well, the gold difference actually isn't that large if you think about it, because with that Baron buff, that probably makes up for all the gold that they have missed so far. It's only a 2k gold difference.
Yeah,
2.5k.
they actually picked up the dragon and the Baron for the last 2 objectives, so.
Oh, I must have missed the dragon
But-
there. Alright, so Kenzo pushing out the lanes a little bit. And both teams grouping up in the mid lane. How do you think this will play out?
This is really going to come down to a Blitz hook or not. If Blitz misses his hook, I think that Kenzo is going to be in a lot of trouble because that'll let Zach jump in with a Let's Bounce. That AoE is going to disorient them, and with a Baron buff, I think it's going to be the siege down.
Or what if Blitz hooks perhaps Sean 8T? He did claim that he was going to grab the Blitzcrank, or grab the Zac on purpose in the Twitch chat.
Oh, well that's...
Oh, he does! He grabs the Zac!
If it was karma, he said 1 hit.
And that's a 1 for
It's gonna be
0.
a 1 for 0 and a fall back.
So now...
It's as if you knew it was coming.
Yeah. So now the Scrublordz will be able to siege this mid tower with 1 member down. Maybe they'll be able to make something happen. Of course, the Baron buff sustaining them up. So
Still ticking.
yeah. And actually, did they grab the dragon? It's live now.
It's live now. I'm saying they grabbed it previous to Barrett. So
Oh,
they
okay.
got 2 objectives in a row.
I must have misunderstood what you were saying, but actually, Scrublordz still playing very conservatively, considering that it's a 4v5 on the map right now.
Yeah, at this point, if I were Zach, I would dive in, follow it up with a fresh hook. this is a great opportunity. I mean, they're actually gonna walk away, realizing that Drag's up, and,
Yeah.
and go claim it.
So they are going to go towards that. Night Elf Mohawk rushing out of base with his home guard. Kenzo, can they respond to this dragon? It will go down very quickly, so no, they can't do anything about it. Probably, I think, about a minute left on this Baron, so looks like Scrublordz will try to make a play here. We'll see.
Well, looks like they're going for a catch up. No, that's actually,
Yeah,
drop
Kenzo is
a
onto
ward and
them.
Go back on.
And the hook lands on Frosty. I don't know if they wanted to grab him,
Decides to
but the
go
John
in.
Train caught as well. And let's bounce on these two tanks. The problem is the timing of this fight just hasn't worked out for Kenzo. Frosty Light is very low, so is Night Elf Mohawk. Politeness and Charmander have to do a lot of damage here to come back. A good knockback from Charmander. And the Zanyas from Glorious Wabunga making a lot of plays in this fight. It's too awesome. Will get out with his life, but a double kill from Charmander. And ADC is easy, has to be careful. The ultimate goes down on him, and he'll flash away and use his barrier. But they're going to pick up this tower most likely. I don't think Charmander can do too much to stop them. Actually, he is clearing out the wave very effectively, and a huge minion wave coming in on the top for Kenzo.
Yeah, Vane's positioning in that fight was absolutely excellent, and that's exactly what I thought Purple Team had to do, is have Zac initiate, go to there, and just have Vane be Vane. Let her all be in the back line, clean up, and Fizz and Vane taking a double kill from that fight.
Yeah, I think you have to give credit to Charmander, though. He saved that middle tower. It could have been a lot worse if he hadn't made those plays at the end of the fight. And I think perhaps...
Yeah, Charmander picking up a double and saving a turret, so that was very, very strong play from Kenzo's good man.
Yeah, I think perhaps ADC is easy, playing it a little too conservatively. The barrier did save his life there, but he flashed away as well. If he had his flash up, maybe he would have felt more confident to take down that middle tower.
Yep.
Or even turn around to kill on
ADC easy.
Charmander.
ADC is easy, he's actually picking up a Banshee's Veil. Maybe that was why he didn't feel as confident. He didn't have that Banshee's Veil completed. Now that is, he'll be able to get out of that stun.
Yeah,
Take away
that's
a lot of Cinder's
strong for
damage.
dealing with Cinder and Blitzcrank. And yeah. I so enjoy, though, watching Glorious Wabunga in these fights. He goes in and does a lot of damage and then gets away with very low HP using his Troll Pole and his Zanya's Hourglass very effectively. And it's really awesome to watch.
Looks like they're going to have a nice little dance here in mid lane. I don't expect there to be a team fight here. I expect them to kind of play minions and
Yeah, the Talisman of
Oh,
Ascension
the
coming
Talisman.
across. Both teams using it, and Frosty Light will just barely get away there. That might not have been the best initiation for Scrublordz anyway, but they have regained some confidence. It's 26-15 in favor of them, and they don't quite have a gold lead yet, but they're going to get there pretty soon if they keep this up.
yeah, gold at this point is almost about dead even. Dragon being or Baron being up in 60 seconds also going to be a main contesting point. I'm actually shocked at the level of vision being put down on Baron by both teams. At this point in the game, you definitely want to be putting wards around that, being controlling that area. If you're Kenzo, you want that red side jungle as your own, and obviously, Purple Team, you want to be guarding that as well.
One thing that's important to note is that this bottom lane will actually be pushing out for the Scrublordz because Vayne went down there, cleared out the cannon minion wave. So that will slowly create a large wave, and if that is allowed to go on uncontested, that could mean a successful Baron siege for the Scrublordz.
Actually, it looks like the Scrublordz are moving into the Baron pit, getting vision, possibly going to set up for a bait, and actually they're going to start it.
Oh, very confident play by them there. Kenzo is onto them. They're coming towards the pit. What will happen here? Baron still at only half HP, and they have to be careful. Vayne actually gets caught out by the John Tran, but Purple Team gets that Baron with Fizz securing that, and they do pick up a kill on Rengar. Now Vayne just has to stay alive through this fight. Night Elf Mohawk goes down, double kill for the Fizz. And now they're just chasing after the members of Kenzo. Looks like Scrublordz have finally managed to grab an advantage, and actually Charmander making a play there to kill.
Getting
To
the
kill
ball
I2
around
awesome.
him. See what I
Yeah.
did there? It was, but yeah, just landing that stun on Volley Bear, realizing that his passive was down, putting that on, and just ulting him. It was a very nice play.
Sean AT caught out here. 2 sword and a 1 actually lands a grab on Politeness. This is a 2v2 fight, and Sean AT will just disengage from that. But one problem I see with Scrublordz play is that they'll win these fights, and then they'll not pressure as well as they could. They had 4 members compared to 2 from Kenzo, but they chose not to pressure the mid tower.
Yeah, they should have rotated mid after that. The fact that Volley Bear went down is not enough reason for them to back off completely.
Yeah.
Get that tower, force their objectives, and then, I mean, that's twice now that they've gotten Baron and had quite the sloppy exit.
Definitely playing very tentatively, but perhaps being a little careful has kept them in this game because they don't want to get caught by the Blitzcrank or the Syndra. But then again, now that they are in the lead here, perhaps that's not the best option for them anymore.
Yeah, at this point, we've hit the point of the game where I think they want to be aggressive. Vayne is farmed up. You want to play very passively, being 0-1 in the series and having the Vayne ADC in that early game. But now that she's ramped up, he's got a Fizz that is fed. Looks like he is almost full build. He's going to be getting to that Doran's ring here pretty shortly. But yeah, I mean, at this point, you want to start forcing objectives. You don't want to get caught out. You want to group up. You want to make sure that Rengar doesn't get to that foot pushing game.
Yeah. So, these Scrublordz grabbing another dragon, they're extending their gold lead even more, and it's really interesting to see the difference between these two teams' playstyles because Scrublordz 29 kills to 16, but the gold is still pretty close. That just shows the objective focus that Kenzo is so good at. And on this bottom lane, both teams grouping up. The Scrublordz just trying to get a positional advantage. And a fight breaking out here. 2 sword and a wand, a little bit caught, but the Scrublordz collapse. And Jontran caught in the middle of the team. ADC is easy, is dominating. Glorious Wabunga is on a killing spree. And this might be the game.
Not what Kenzo wanted. Syndra rotating top to push that wave, and then just getting caught in their jungle.
Oh, Glorious Wabunga caught out a little bit. He will use his Zanyas to cancel out some of the damage there. And now Scrublordz not playing tentatively anymore. Once they know that they can win a fight, they will win a fight and push it through. And oh, camera going a little weird there. But shutdowns going everywhere. The Jontran caught out, but he's very tanky. He should be able to get away from this. And Sean AT doesn't want to go too deep under the tower. But Scrublordz are going to grab an inhibitor.
Yeah, what went wrong there is Scrublordz realizing that he was going top, forced to fight spot lane, wanted to push.
Oh, the grab on Frosty Light. They're going to pick up a kill on him, and that could be the game.
This should be it.
Looks like Scrublordz will tie up the series 1-1. We get to go to a game 3. I am super hyped.
I am jazzed. Now that I've got the two both games play, hop in mid-game, and that is it. The GGs come out.
All right. That was just so awesome to watch the Scrublordz come back from that. And the double explosion
And
was
the
an
double
excess.
explosion, always a good treat.
Yeah, that was an awesome game. All right. I think my thing got unplugged, but it's okay now.
Your thing is in your mic?
Oh, yeah, sorry. But anyway, I guess we'll go to a break and wait for the invite to Game 3.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that when we feel down, we can roll ourselves over 'cause we're uncomfortable. Oh, where the devil makes us sin, but we like it when we're spinning in his grin.
Interesting.
For the ones that feel it the most, look at her with her eyes like a flame.
Makes me laugh.
She will love you like a fly, never love you again.
Hmm.
It's unfortunate that when we feel a storm, we can roll ourselves over when we're uncomfortable. Oh, well, the devil makes us sound, but we like it when we're spinning in his ground.
Probably using it. Would be my guess.
Love is like a sin, my love, for the one.
All right, I guess we need to get this game started pretty quick because Frosty Light, I guess, has work to do elsewhere. So let's go ahead and get into the game. Quick break already over. And camera. Hey,
It'd be
look.
interesting to see these picks and bans.
Yeah,
Picks and ban stage, since I bet you they end up taking away the Fizz from Glorious Lobunga based on how well he played him and what a factor he was in team fights.
I almost think that that Kenzo will leave the Shen open. If I was Kenzo, I would leave the Shen open because I think they really want to have that champion that they can pretty easily lane bully. And even though it was very effective in game one, they didn't win, and the W is what matters.
Yeah,
So
and there is the Fizz ban right off the
Um,
bat. I think that's a smart ban on their side.
yeah, I was surprised
So
to
yeah, I
see the
would-
Rengar get through in game two.
Yeah, I
But-
missed the bans on the first bit, so I don't get to say as much with as much meaning, obviously.
Yeah, that's
during
all
this
right.
ban stage. I think that's a good ban with this.
For sure. I think. Oh, what? Somebody
Oh,
dropping out from the game. I don't know.
not
what's-
happy with the bans, obviously. Frosty Light immediately leave.
Okay. I don't know if that is Frosty Light leaving for good because he did say he didn't have a whole lot of time. Hopefully we do get to have this game 3 because it would be such a shame to end it at 1-1 and have to say that Kenzo forfeits because they don't have enough members. I don't think that that's what's going on, but we'll have to get confirmation here. So this is a random guy. We should probably not let a level 25 play in this game. I
I
think,
don't know, it's fun handy thing.
yeah. I think they forgot to put a password on the room. I think that's the issue here. We can't delay. Justino?
Yeah, we'll get right back to the action guys once we figure out where Frosty Light went. Who knows? Maybe he was hungry, wanted a biscuit, decided this would be the great opportunity to be able to get one. So we'll
Yeah.
figure it out, and we'll get this game right back on track for you.
Yeah, BRB.
That feels it the most. Look at her with a smile like a flame. She will love you like a fly and never love you again.
Alright, so I guess what's going on here is Frosty Light needs 20 minutes before he can play, but then we can get the game started. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. So I guess we have a 20-minute delay, but we'll be back for the final game of this series. Get excited. I guess we're starting this game suddenly. That happened. Okay, we're gonna do this whenever they hit the thing. Okay, there it is. Game 3 of this series is happening. Scrublordz versus
Kenzo. I guess I
Kenzo.
won't be able to go get my food that I so was looking forward to. But
Sad
I'm
face.
expecting the same two bands to come out, obviously, since that would be the right thing to do.
Okay. So yeah, the Fizz ban from Kenzo Jax, I think that's a different ban, isn't it? But I guess I'll just go with it. Zach being banned by the Scrublordz. Is that the no, that's Kenzo.
Yeah, Kenzo banning away Zach from Sean 8D. Respecting both the Fizz, Zach, and Volleybear picks. Banning out all 3 laners. Possibly saying, hey, show us another champion. You can play.
Definitely the Zach has been huge in these games, and I think without it, perhaps the Scrublordz won't be as strong. We'll have to see how much of an impact it has on the game, and I don't know about the timer.
Yeah, I think it's more of just a hover pick. I think he's actually going to walk. We do have a Lissandra coming onto the Glorious Bondo. We'll be playing that on mid lane.
All right, so do you think we'll see the John Tran play Rengar again?
I do think that John Tran is going to pull that back out. It wasn't banned away from him. He seemed to have great success in that top lane, and the Rengar pick wasn't the pick that ended up hurting him last game. He was doing fairly well, and so I'm expecting John to pick up the Rengar again.
Yeah, perhaps the Bone Tooth necklace was a little questionable, but the Rengar pick was not.
Yeah, at that point in the game, definitely Bone Tooth, a little overkill.
So the Eve locked in. This will be exciting. This is the first time we've seen this in the series. And Night Elf Mohawk gonna actually grab the fiddle. So instead of the Blitz.
Huge fan. Now it's gonna be interesting to see if that's gonna be a fiddle mid or a fiddle support. We can actually Can't tell from that pick. So
I think it's
We'll just,
probably a fiddle support, but you never know. And maybe the strategy is to go for more of a team fight oriented composition and meet Scrublordz where they have been strongest instead of trying to play a different game, because the game that they played last game was not successful. They weren't able to make those picks that they needed, and maybe these heads-up team fights will be where they'll be successful. So the Nasus and the Thresh locked in now for the Scrublordz.
Mm. Actually, a very interesting pick on the Nasus, in my opinion, since Eve is going to be very much focused on the early game, and Nasus obviously going to be in that jungle, wanting to ramp up, wanting to hit that mid to late game, and he's got tons of uncontested stacks in the jungle.
Yeah, and
So,
especially with that Riven and Jinx, that'll be a huge early game commitment, but that's what Kenzo likes to do. They like to commit to the early game and win early.
They want to win this, and they want to win this by the 30-minute mark. So, risky picks, but well, if they pull it off, I mean, it definitely can work, and it's shown to work. And so.
And Evelyn, definitely a very strong champion right now. As really all of these champions, very, very strong right now.
Yeah, Fiddle has definitely seen an increase in strength since the support changes. Now that he can build more AP, do more damage, his life drain is actually not going to do negative damage anymore. He'll actually be able to sustain and do some damage to the champions. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him grab a Zanya's or something to that effect to just be a little more effective in team fights. I2Awesome hovering over the Udyr, and ADC is easy. Gonna pick up his own ADC, perhaps the Caitlyn that was banned last game.
I'm personally expecting a Lucian pick into this team comp, but he's actually going to pull off the Ezreal to be able to possibly dodge the Jinx route. Not a bad pick.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. Nobody locking anything in yet. The Jarvan was also banned last game, so Scrublordz going to want to pick that up for themselves, it looks like. But we'll see. They will lock in the Jarvan.
Now, the Jarvan pick, although it's really strong, is a little bit confusing to me in this team comp. You've got a Riven that's going to do a lot of AoE damage in the middle of that J4 ult. You've got a Fiddle, you've got an Evelyn, and you've got a Jinx. I mean, you get that Cataclysm in the wrong spot. That's going to be not going to be good for your team.
Yeah, definitely. I think the way that they want to play Jarvan here is more of a peeler as a backline tank to try and keep Ezreal alive. And Sean 8T will want to be in the front lines doing damage. Frosty Light hovering over the Kassadin. It was banned for the first 2 games, and it would definitely be exciting to see a Kassadin, just a super aggressive comp from Kenzo, and definitely a lot of action to be anticipated for this game. And he locks it in. This will be game 1. Are you excited, Arjesh?
Oh, I'm very excited. This is going to be a great third game. The way that Purple team played last game and really forced that game down Kenzo's throat after the 2 Baron pickups definitely showed promise for them and makes this third game all that more important and all that more sense.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll be back in just a little bit. I am Tyler Meatboy Morgan, and this is Alex Arzesh Nuoda, and we will be back for Game 3 of Kenzo versus the Scrublordz. Get hype.
mercenaries, the revolution babies. Mercenary. We got a switchblade, they got machine guns. We got sore legs.
CSM, the heavy favorite in this match.
We are the mercenaries, the revolution babies. We are mercenaries, the revolution.
There's a lot of Scrublordz love coming through right now.
All right, we are about to get this game started. Do you want to go ahead and introduce us to the teams, Arjesh?
Absolutely. All right, on the purple side, we will be having Kenzo, who won the first game. We have Politeness on Evelyn. Just lagged out for me real quick. It's loading in right now.
Yeah, probably my timing there wasn't too great.
Yeah. Introduce the black screen. Absolutely. If you could do that by memory, Razesh, I would be amazingly impressed.
Yeah, just like warm up your left brain a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying. Yeah, it's not working. But yeah, like I was saying, now that it is loaded, on the purple side we have Evelyn being played by Politeness. We have the Fiddlesticks on Night Mohawk, Riven being played by the John Tran in the top lane, Jinx on the AD carry and Charmander, and Cassidy mid lane, Cassidy. And on the blue side we have thing just lagged out real quick. Okay, there we go. On the blue side we got Scrublordz, mid laner, Lissandra being played by the glorious Bunga. We've got Jungle Mastiff being played by Sean AP. We've got the support Thresh being played by Two Sword and the Wand. ADC is being played by ADC is Easy on Ethereum. And we have a top lane Darvin being played by I2 Awesome.
And definitely
So,
Scrublordz have the advantage here with 3 skins to 1.
Absolutely. If we're playing for the skins, they win.
So I guess... Oh, never mind. Glorious Bunga not leaving base yet. I thought he was going to leave base with no items.
Next level strat, actually start the game with no item. See what your opponent's building.
Yeah.
And, build nothing from it.
So the crowd favorite in this game is definitely TSM. Just based on the Twitch chat,
Welcome to
which
Summoner's Rift.
guys, I hate to break it to you, but that TSM isn't in this game. Yeah, just a little bit of trolling going on there. We like to have fun here in the high school esports league. And just a passive start, that seems to be the way of 3.14.
Yep, nothing deep on the invade. There doesn't look like to be any deep wards being put down.
30 seconds until
We'll start our
minions
buff,
spawn.
you start yours, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and actually, Politeness with the Elixir of Brilliance and the Scrying Orb, this is something that we've seen a lot on Evelyn. I actually, I lied when I said that we haven't seen Eve yet in this because Politeness played it. And the reason you take Scrying Orb is so that you can check brushes for pink words. And I guess Politeness just wants to go all in, so he's taking the Elixir of Brilliance.
Minions have
Yeah,
spawned.
that Elixir of Brilliance, I've been seeing that a lot lately. Meteos has been running that on his Evelyn, as well as Diamond Flux when that blue pot start. Since Evelyn is such a strong early game champ, starting that blue pod, she's looking to get her blue buff, her red buff, and gank right away. She wants the first 4 minutes of the game to be in her control.
Yeah,
And look for that really early first blood. So.
I honestly, what I've seen on a lot of Evelynns is they'll just take their first buff and then go for an invade and gank right away. They won't even take their second buff.
It'll be interesting to see what Politeness does with this gun. But both junglers picking up their blue buff. Looks like a good start, and it looks like everyone's gonna head right to her red buff. So.
Yeah, so on the bottom lane, ADC is easy, and 2 Sword and a Wand getting to lane a little early, getting that shoved out, getting a little bit of an experience advantage there, which Sean 8T started on the top side, so they were able to do that without having to help their jungler. So actually, let me rearrange the icons here real quick so I don't get confused later. Top lane, a little action. John Tran going aggressive, but Glorious Wabunga manages to turn it around a little bit.
Glorious Bunga, obviously getting a little bit of level advantage, so that I was able to let him turn that around.
Yeah, definitely. And actually,
I
that's
really like what Jinx is running this game. With Charmander running cleanse versus this team comp. I think it's very smart. He'll be able to cleanse the Thresh Hook. If that lands, he'll be able to cleanse the Massive Slow and all that.
top lane. Glorious Wabunga falls very low. It gets ignited, but he'll walk away from that. And actually, interestingly, we would have kind of expected... Oh, Glorious Wabunga goes too far forward, and Politeness flashes for the kill. But as I was saying, you would normally expect the Lysandra in this situation to be mid lane, but they decided to send I2 Awesome to the mid lane to for a little bit of a lane swap so that perhaps their lanes don't fall so far behind. Driving probably a little better to bully Frosty Light's Cassidin early on.
Absolutely. Not to mention J4 roaming with Cassidin would also be better off. I think it's a smart move. I think Lysandra stayed around there a little bit too long, knowing that everyone is on the map.
Yeah, so you were talking about cleanse. Do you think that maybe it was a mistake for ADC as easy not to take cleanse? Because with that Fiddle Fear, 3 seconds is a long time to not be able to move.
It possibly could be, but at this point, I think it was a good pick, especially with that last pick on Cassidin. If Cassidin roams, which Cassidin will do, that is what Cassidins do. If he roams bot and he gets caught up in a Fiddle Fear, he's not going to be able to cleanse that from a Cassidin. He's going to be silenced, he's going to be slowed. I think Barrier is definitely going to be the right pick.
Sean IT setting up for something in the mid lane, but he will get spotted by a ward. Does not use his lens just yet to sweep. But Politeness setting up for the counter gank. He has his red buff and his Elixir Brilliance on him, so maybe he'll be able to make something happen. This will be an interesting situation. I'm really surprised that Sean 8T has not used his sweeping lens yet, but we're just waiting for something to happen.
That jungler instinct, you know, when you're sitting in the side brushes and the lane just starts kind of pushing and they start playing passive, you gotta know something's up.
Yeah, so top lane, a little bit of a trade. John Tran going aggressive on Glorious Wabunga. After that first kill, Glorious Wabunga falls a little far behind, and it's going to have some trouble there. I think perhaps a problem that they're going to have this game is they don't really have an answer to Riven. Which,
they don't. They really won't have a way to lock her up. And like I was saying in the pick, that's why I was so confused by the J4 ult. You lock up the Riven in a J4 ult, that's not something you necessarily want either. With the broken wings, her being able to stun, and her ult can basically...
Well, Politeness gonna get past this ward. ADC is easy, and 2 Sword and a Wand need to be so careful. I'm afraid for you, but Politeness does get spotted. Politeness gets grabbed, gets flayed in, but looks like the Scrublordz will have to disengage from that. They are forced back. And Sean 8T heading up towards the top lane.
Charmander was just a little bit too low for that engage, but we got some action top.
Yeah, John Tran gets the Wither on him, and he'll be forced to back away. I'm just really worried that if the John Tran is able to snowball this game due to, you know, not particularly having a good answer to his pick, because last game, Sean 8T goes back in. The flash onto Glorious Wabunga, he uses Barrier, and John Tran looks like he's going to go down to Sean 8T. The kill goes over to the Nasus. So as I was saying, if the John Tran can snowball, it will be dangerous because of course. Oh, actually, action on the bottom. Night Elf Mohawk getting exhausted, and he will go down maybe. Oh, the misclicked auto! But Mystic Shot gets the kill.
But ends up clearing it up with a kill.
So Charmander has to be careful here. Frosty Light gets a kill in the mid lane. We missed that, but let's try to finish this one more time. John Tran, if he can get the snowballing, because last time Volibear was the answer to Rengar. If he can get the snowballing, there really won't be an answer to him, and that's something that Scrublordz should think on.
Yeah, I think Sean AT realizes that too, and I think he's spending a lot of the time near mid and near top. He doesn't necessarily seem to be putting a lot of attention towards bot lane yet, because he realizes.
Oh, the Evelyn
Snowball, you may be able to focus on.
picks up 1 kill. Can he get 2? Politeness going in
It
on
looks
ADC
like
is
it.
easy. He tanks a tower hit. Can he get... Oh, ADC is easy. Picks it up. The minion wave was just a little too strong there. And Night Elf Mohawk maybe wants to go past the minion wave, get a kill on Ezreal, but ADC is easy, playing it safe. And now a lane swap coming out. I2 Awesome going back to deal with the John Tran, but the John Tran very strong. The Jarvan not able to contend with that. And we'll have to see if this lane setup works a little better for the Scrublordz.
I think the lane switch back was actually now that Kassadin is 6. I think they were going to try for an early kill on Kassadin 3-6, but Evelyn could never really get in position since J4 kept pushing away.
Yeah, actually Evelyn is on Kenzo, so that would have been Nasus getting in position.
Right.
But yes, we all know what you meant.
Yes.
So yeah, a little passivity right now. Dragon probably going to be the next big fight that happens.
Like everyone passing over the blue buff to Kassadin.
And actually, a little bit of an interesting build choice by ADC is easy.
ADC is easy, going with the BF sword and a tier. I haven't seen a lot of tiers being built on ADCs lately, but he seems to be going for that mirror main and gonna go for that mid-game, late-game damage spike.
Yeah, Glorious Wabunga roaming towards the top. Will they be able to make a play on John Tran? John Tran playing very aggressively, so he could get caught out here. Over the wall comes the claw, and John Tran's gonna go down.
Yeah. That's twice now that John Tran has really been playing aggressive without wards, without positioning, and against the Lissandra.
Well,
he noticed was missing.
He did have this ward right here, but that ward does not do very much against the Lissandra.
Right, she can just come right on through. And he had used Flash in his last death, so he didn't have that up his
Yeah, so John Tran not having too much fun. I think perhaps his aggressive lane tendencies are turning around on him.
Yep.
And looks like a big fight coming up here on the bottom lane. Politeness not spotted by this ward because of course it is a stealth ward. But he does get spotted by ADC is easy. Both teams just gonna disengage from that. But Politeness taking a little damage there. He'll pop a health pot. And Sean AT gonna go for this Baron or this Dragon. They can do it very quickly with the Nasus, but he's doing it by himself. He does have the sweeping lens, which he did use, so he's pretty confident that he can take this. He's going to get spotted by Night Elf Mohawk, but I don't think there's anything Night Elf Mohawk can do. The smite goes down, and Night Elf Mohawk, you are in a very dangerous position, my friend. Frosty Light comes in, he picks up the kill, and now Glorious Wabunga going to try to clean this up. They get a kill on Night Elf Mohawk. The True Shot Barrage comes across, hits Frosty Light, and actually the Mystic Shot picks up Fiddlesticks. Night Elf Mohawk goes down, and John Tran on the top falling very low. The Ignite Tick doesn't kill him, but the Dragon Strike does.
Yep. At this point of the game, they're doing exactly what they need to take Riven out of this game. If Riven doesn't get snowballing early, she can still ramp up late game with items, but like we were talking about with the team comp, they're not looking for late game with this team comp. They're looking to end it really quickly.
Yeah, so I mean, already at a disadvantage. This is super dangerous for Team Kenzo. They're going to have to pull out some really good positional shenanigans, which of course is what they are known to do. So could still go the way of Team Kenzo. And with Frosty Light on that Kassadin, we've seen time and time again what Kassadin can do in competitive play from Xpike, from Ocelot. Particularly the European mid laners seem to be fond of him.
Looks like we have Cassidy setting up for possibly a lane gank on this bot if he can
The
land
grab
it
lands
here.
on Charmander. Box goes down, but 2 Sword and a Wand in trouble. The ultimate from Charmander will actually miss. And now ADC is easy in a little bit of trouble. He'll channel the True Shot Barrage and not quite pick up the kill on Night Elf Mohawk. He flashes away. Does he have his barrier up? Yeah, he does, but not quite enough to save him there. And Frosty Light will get the kill under the tower.
And this is looking really, really good for Cassidy. He is 4-0.
Ooh, he's kind of caught though.
minutes in.
But Sean 8T not having flash to get over the wall there.
Always hard to catch a Cassidy. You think you got him, and all of a sudden he pushes R. He can't.
Yeah, big duel on the top here. John Tran having trouble against I2 Awesome, who decided to go for the Tiamat. That seems to have been the correct choice for beating John Tran in lane. And fight on the bottom. Frosty Light picks up another kill, this time on Glorious Wabunga. Glorious Wabunga didn't even get to cast his ult there. He was silenced for the entire duration.
Yeah, I missed that because I was watching.
And action on the top.
John
I2
Tran
Awesome
top.
goes down. It looks like John Tran is unfazed by the aggression from the Jarvan. So 2 tiers in this game. The Manamune picked up now. And there's going to be some similar power spikes between Ezreal and Kassadin. Kassadin probably a little bit stronger with his own power spike, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, his will obviously scale a little bit better with the champion. That's why I'm shocked to see Ezreal actually pull that out. It's been shying away from because it has been nerfed a little bit for AD carries building it. But I mean, he's 3-1. He obviously seems to be doing well, but I mean, he's gonna have a hard time with that 5-0 Kassadin for sure.
So, are you familiar with the changes to Spirit of the Elder Lizard?
What kind of changes? As in the assist for the kills, or
The change in which the true damage tick does not happen on magic damage, it's only on physical damage.
yes?
So, consider that Politeness now has bought a Spirit of the Elder Lizard, and the only physical damage that he can deal is with his auto attacks.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, no, I've been watching Evelyn build for a while now, since she is one of my favorite champions. She does seem to be very strong now with the vision changes. But yeah, most of them have been shying away from the Elder Lizard because of that. They've been building Spirit of the Spectral Lyric one
Well,
because
you just
it
have
gives
no way to
natural
use
spell
it.
down. Yeah, you'll have your AA, and then you have it. I mean, you
Oh,
have your
but
E.
Glorious Wabunga in the mid lane gets the turret, but gets caught out a little bit. Actually, they're going to turn this around on Frosty Light. Frosty Light, though, uses his ultimate. Can he get out? That's the real question. Sean 8T does pick up the kill, gets a stack as well, but in the bottom lane, there was some action. Were you watching that at all?
Yeah, Charmander actually landed his ultimate onto ADC easily because Evelyn was down there, and
Oh,
Fiddle
Sean
did a
8T
great deal.
on the bottom. Looks like the Evelyn ultimate will come across, and this is looking good for Team Kenzo. Their early game aggression is starting to kick in, and 12-7 in favor of Team Kenzo. Very exciting game.
Yeah, this is just aggression from both sides. Both teams going, all right, we want to get ahead early. We want to get kills. We want to push this. So it should be actually a bottom turret picked up.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good option for the Scrublordz because the way to deal with early aggression is just to beat it down. At least in this case, if you play passive, you're going to give your opponent opportunities to get aggressive on you. But I2 Awesome now really struggling to deal with the John Tran.
Yeah, that top lane's been exciting to watch since it's been back and forth. Since I2 Awesome was having his way with John Tran, now John Tran having his way with I2 Awesome. So we keep our eye on that top lane, especially now with the Kassadin roaming up, possibly looking to do.
Yeah, the missing
lane
ping
gank.
for Glorious Wabunga, so Kenzo has the right idea here, but it's going to be a 2v2 in the top lane. Glorious Wabunga actually doesn't have his ultimate ready, so Jarvan will go down, I2 Awesome dies, and John
I expect it
Tran
to be a dive on Glorious Wabunga. Yep.
will get the double kill. And Dragon spawning here in 10 seconds. So actually with Kenzo having a lot of members top, perhaps Scrublordz can make a play there, but probably not actually because they have 2 people dead.
Yep.
And Sean 8T is top. They don't want to lose the tower.
Yeah, Sean 18 moving, rotating top to make sure those minions don't keep pressuring that turn. Walk back into his jungle, a little bit more wicked for his way.
So ADC is easy and 2 sword and 1 in a little bit of a bad position. ADC is easy, gets feared, but a good grab from 2 sword and a 1 slows down Night Elf Mohawk, and looks like ADC is
Should
easy.
be a
Will go
double
down
kill.
here, maybe.
Yep, that should
Oh, the barrier! Hello!
There
And
it
the
is.
kill does go to
There it is.
Charmander finally. And meanwhile, in the
She
top
landed
lane,
W.
Nasus picked up, or wasn't in the top lane, it was in the mid lane, I guess. Yeah, right here, Evelyn went down to Sean 8T.
A lot of action going on in this game, so much so that we're having a hard time keeping track of it as casters.
Yeah. Well, I'll assume if there's
Sean-
any action going on from what's not being talked about, the other person will be paying attention to it and have an update when we get done.
Absolutely.
So it looks like some action going on at the dragon here. Glorious Bunga does a little bit of a claw over the wall. I think that was just a bluff to try and scare them back. And now Frosty Light zoning, but he has to be careful not to get caught out. And he will go over the wall.
Now, that should be a dragon, because we just saw Sean 8T use his smite to steal away the big golem from Charmander.
So yeah, now the John Tran doing what he does, winning lane all game long.
Yep, that Riven is going to be extremely potent when it gets to team fights, and based on watching John Tran play, he's not necessarily even looking for team fights right now. He's looking to just push that lane down their throat.
Yeah, definitely. That is the playstyle that he likes to do, and when it didn't work last game, they lost. So definitely the success of John Tran seems to be the success of Kenzo.
Purple team's turret has been
Meanwhile, on the
destroyed.
bottom, though, ADC is easy taking that turret, and Night Elf Mohawk thought about maybe channeling his ultimate, but doesn't go for it.
John Tran hovering around that blue buff over there is waiting for that timer to come up, and he's going to look to try to take that away, but he seems to be moving mid to possibly counter game to Sean 18.
Yeah, looks like it will be a 3v3 in the mid lane. Both teams playing a little tentatively. Politeness checks the brush there with his scrying orb, and yeah, nothing's going to happen. Now Night Elf Mohawk and Charmander clearing out this pink ward. The hook from Thresh barely misses, but Charmander gonna get flayed back. The box misses because of a good flash from Charmander, and now he has to be careful to get away. He gets exhausted, cleanses that, and Politeness coming around the back. Can he get a good flank? But Night Elf Mohawk goes down in the meantime. Really good pick by Scrublordz, taking advantage of a positional error. And oh, an ultimate on Charmander. True Shot Barrage goes down on him. A lot of ultimates used just to kill Ezreal, but Politeness really can't do anything here. He doesn't have the damage, and ADC is easy, goes deep under the tower. But oh, Frosty Light cleans him up. Really well played there. But John Tran still in this top lane.
Yeah, I was about to say, you gotta still give some attention to the top lane.
Definitely. And I don't know, when do you think these teams will start thinking about Baron?
I'd give it probably within the next 3 to 4 minutes. John Tran has got complete positional control of that top lane. I wouldn't be shocked for them to try it within the next batch. Start moving, get some vision over there, and yeah.
Politeness almost dying to the white there, but he survives, so he'll be all right. But one thing that's interesting, when the Golden Hawks played against Team Kenzo, they spent a lot of time ganking the John Tran, and while that happened, Team Kenzo would take objectives across the map. But Scrublordz seems to have the opposite approach. They seem to try to make action away from the John Tran, take advantage of the numbers advantage they have on the map, and it seems to be working, but they still need to deal with the John Tran.
Yeah, at this point, John Tran just took their second tier top turn for free, basically, while J4 rotated bot. So John Tran isn't interested in helping. He's like, hey, if you're gonna.
Oh, Frosty Light goes in on ADC is easy. This will be a 2v2, but Frosty Light is just so big right now. And now John Tran heading down towards the mid lane. This could be a 5v5 team fight. This could be the moment that we've all been waiting for, but no, he's going to go back.
John Tran's like, alright, 5v5.
Quit
I'm
playing
playing that top
games
lane,
with
that's
my
fine.
heart.
Yep, I'm going up there. It's safe for me. I enjoy it.
So Scrublordz wants to group. They do not want to delay. The quicker they make a play, the quicker they can force something from John Tran. And I2 Awesome actually recalling. I don't know about this decision, but they are going to force down the tower. Night Elf Mohawk channeling his ultimate, and a huge ultimate from Politeness will take down the Glorious Wabunga very quickly. He does not get to use his ultimate, and now Scrublordz has to run away. But in the bottom or in the top lane, John Tran and I2 Awesome dueling it out. John Tran takes a couple hits from the tower and has to back out, but still Kenzo definitely with the advantage there. Just there was not the ward coverage for ADC is easy, gets caught out by the fear, and that's where you want to have a cleanse. John Tran makes the play, gets another kill there, and Kenzo has gone hard. They decided, yeah, we have an advantage, we're gonna use it, and who knows, maybe they'll just push through for the win. But Glorious Wabunga is back, gonna pick up a kill on Frosty Light, and Politeness has to be careful not to die to the tower, but he's not even tanking the tower, so an ace actually for Team Kenzo, and this game is suddenly seeming to take the favor of the Kenzo team, the purple side.
Yep, Kenzo just absolutely...
True Shot Barrage picks up a kill. Really good sense of where his opponents would be there, and definitely worth.
Absolutely, I think actually he was throwing that at Baron to get vision of Baron, and just got a lucky kill on Jinx there. Which, hey, I mean, call it luck, call it skill, call it checking, whatever.
I call it worth.
I call it worth. Absolutely.
So actually, let's see how many stacks does this Nasus have. He has 243 stacks.
Not that impressive. He definitely could be doing more with that as a jungle Nasus, but he's been ganking a lot. He has been a big factor in a lot of the fights.
Yeah, definitely. He's been involved in 5 kills, and he's also been involved in 3 of his own deaths. But still, he's been involved in 5 kills.
Yes. It looks like they're going to be setting up for Baron.
Yeah, so now
pretty soon with their lead advantage. Riven, 60 CS up on the J4, so that is a massive advantage.
Definitely, it looks like Team Kenzo just wants to choke out the Scrublordz. They're really not interested in having a fight right now as much as putting the fear into the hearts of their opponents.
It's all about the mind games right now.
And Frosty Light just zoning for his team. He'll take a wither, but Night Elf Mohawk channeling his ultimate, but his team isn't there. And he actually does have the Zanyas. The True Shot Barrage will take him down, and a good fight for the Scrublordz, but the John Tran still pushing the top lane. And 3 members even of Scrublordz will have to recall. Sean 8T and Two Sword Nawan gonna try to pick up a kill on Charmander here. I don't know if they even have the damage though. That's the real question.
I don't think they have the damage initially, but I think they have the lockup, the slows, the exhaust, and the wither.
Oh, Charmander picks up a kill, and just a little bit. Oh, and actually an ace. Meanwhile, on the top lane, John Tran going down. Perhaps he should not have stayed after his whole team died.
While that action was going on in the Dragon Pit, ADC is easily had recalled from the Dragon Pit and joined Glorious Wabanga's respawn at the top lane and were easily able to kill John.
Yeah, so an ace for the Scrublordz. Looks like Team Kenzo thought that their advantage was a little bigger than it actually was, and they lose a team fight. Night Elf Mohawk trying to make something happen there, but 2 flashes, nothing really happens.
You flash, I flash, we all flash. 2 flashes down only. Nothing.
Yeah, I really thought maybe that Zanya's from Night Elf Mohawk would help them win the fight, but they just couldn't pull out a 4v5 win.
You know, it was just... he went in, may have been the right
Oh,
call.
ADC is easy.
No
ADC is easy, has to be so careful, but actually, there's 2 members of Scrublordz here. Can Frosty Light 2v1? And the hook goes down. Looks like ADC is easy. Will actually not pick up the kill. He does get it.
1 for 1.
So they killed each other. I'm not quite sure how that worked out. I think it was the red buff burn that actually killed Frosty Light, and now a flash coming out from I2 Awesome. Can he get away here? Of course, he doesn't have a whole lot of cooldown reduction, so he can't use as many combos to get out, but he does get a pretty good one. And now Glorious Wabunga needs to get a good ultimate across. He puts it down on Politeness, and Sean 8T in the front line doing an awful lot for his team. Now, Two Sword and a Wand has showed up, puts down the box, and Glorious Wabunga will pick up a kill, but John Tran rampaging through the team of Scrublordz. A really random Zhonya's from Night Elf Mohawk, and he'll get hooked at the end of it. This will be another ace.
Bleeding it out.
Team double
That
kill.
is back-to-back aces.
Ace.
Wow.
This is not what Kenzo was looking for. They were looking for that early game. Their picks whirled around that, and right now they're just giving them kills.
But still a gold lead
Positional errors.
for Kenzo.
Yeah, the gold lead. Gold lead for Kenzo still, but that's back-to-back aces. They can't see it.
Definitely Scrublordz trying to be the comeback kids. They came back in game 2. Can they do it in game 3?
I mean, right now we got to look at Kenzo is winning in most of the farm battles and is up 7k gold in the gold lead. But like I was saying, based on those team fights and based on the overall tankiness of Sean 8T and I2 Awesome, I favor them still, even being down 7k gold. I favor them in team fights.
Well,
If
then
they
I
can continue
guess I have to root for Kenzo in that case.
All right.
Just so that you know you have some opposition there. But Charmander should be careful that he doesn't get caught out by Glorious Wabunga. He doesn't have any teammates nearby, but Scrublordz don't know that. In the top lane, though, Night Elf Mohawk and John Tran going on I2 Awesome. He will get away on his flag and drag, and the blue buff is definitely going to help him here with that extra cooldown reduction. John Tran just going to back off. They don't want to overcommit, and Glorious Wabunga with a rotation here. Looks like Scrublordz are actually in a
Should
really
be able to
good
catch them
position
out.
to cut them off. And the ultimate from Glorious Wabunga not coming out just yet. Really good Cataclysm, and actually they saved the ultimate from Lysandra, so they'll still be able to use that to win a team fight. So far, 1 kill for Scrublordz. They're under the tower, though. They have to be super careful. Glorious Wabunga silence does not get to use his ultimate again, and now Politeness and the John Tran gonna try to clean up this fight. The ultimate from Charmander picks up a kill and a double kill for Kassadin. Meanwhile, Charmander pushing down the mid lane. I think that Scrublordz just thought that they had a little more of an advantage than they did. I think perhaps Kenzo mind gamed them a little bit, played like they were behind when they were actually ahead, and that tower dive was not smart.
While all of that was going on, Charmander wasn't even in that fight. Charmander was actually in the mid lane picking up the inhib.
Yeah, definitely. The global ultimate helping clean up there, and he picks up the inhibitor as well. So Kenzo, although it looked a little bleak for them there, an overcommitment from Scrublordz puts them solidly back in the lead. So what do you think of the items so far? Tell us about that.
It seems right now that everyone's gonna go glass cannon. She's looking to pick off one of the main carries. She's done it a few times now, where she just walked in, killed ADCs easy, or killed Lysandra and just insta-gibbed them. But the item control definitely in Kenzo's favor. They are way up in farm. We're sitting on 222 farm on the Riven, running Ravenous Hydra, Bloodthirster, Brutalizer, which I'm sure she's going to turn into a Black Saber. They're just massively ahead in items, but even though they're ahead in items, they continue to lose team fights.
It actually looks like the John Tran will maybe want to go for a Guardian Angel next. He does have that chain vested in his inventory right now, but I think really Glorious Wabunga needs to stay alive in these fights. Several fights he hasn't even been able to use his ultimate, but in the fights when he has, they've won. So John Tran may be getting caught out here, but they have to be careful not to overcommit. Oh, Scrublordz, be careful. Oh, Scrublordz. They're gonna flash after him. They want this so bad. They're even gonna go under the tower. The Ignite goes down on John Tran. I think that this is not gonna work out for them. But actually, Fiddle isn't there yet. Kassadin isn't there yet. Charmander does kill Two Sword and a Wand. The shutdown, though, by Sean 8T, and Frosty Light is on a killing spree. So far, a 2-for-1 in favor of Kenzo, and now Scrublordz are running away. Glorious Wabunga, no ultimate left. He did get that off. And Politeness will pick up a kill there. Zanya's go down, and the ace for Kenzo. That could be the game. There are minions on the inhibitor turrets. Kenzo could probably even skip this inhibitor turret and go straight for the Nexus, which they're going to do.
Exactly what they're going to do. They picked the early game comp.
GG calls
and the GGs
come out. And that'll
Well
be it.
played.
Kenzo wins 3-0 to lock up the final game of the playoffs of the High School Esports League. Congratulations to Team Kenzo. All right, I am Tyler Meatboy Morgan. This is Alex Arzash Nauda, and that was an awesome game. If you enjoyed the casting, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Meatboy, and my website is supportorfeed.net if you're interested in checking those things out. And well played by Team Kenzo. You want to do a quick recap of that game for us?
I mean, it was just well played. No Barons needed at all. John Tran's continual pressure top forced them to try to pressure other lanes, and they were just winning 4v5s over and over. And it looked like they were going to be able to turn that back around for a bit and won 2 aces in a row, but they never really capitalized anything off that. They were too far behind. Pressure was elsewhere, and although they picked up 2 aces, they never really did anything with it.
Yeah, and of course, don't forget to follow this Twitch channel and the High School Esports League website, highschoolesportsleague.com. We're gearing up for Season 2, where we will have Dota 2 and StarCraft 2 as well. That should be super exciting. If you're interested in applying for staff, we're looking for admins for StarCraft 2 and Dota 2, so definitely check that out if you're interested. There are applications available on the website. And yeah, that was an awesome game, an awesome series even. All right, that was yeah, follow us on Twitter as well, at HSEL Esports, and definitely do those things. I guess unless there's anything else to say, AJ, I'll wait for the go ahead from you, but that'll be it for the stream. All right, so I got the word from AJ. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was the High School Esports League playoffs grand final. Winner is Kenzo. Congratulations to them, and definitely join us for Season 2. It will be awesome. Have a good night, everybody, and enjoy the music. Oh, whoops, that's all right. Good night.
User disconnected from your channel.
Two-headed boy, all floating in glass. The sun, it is past, now it's blacker than black. lay there in their climb. Two-headed boy with pulleys and waves, creating a radio blade just for two in the parlor with a moon across her face. And through the music he sweetly displays silver speakers that sparkle all day, made for his lover who's floating and choking with her hands across her face. And in the dark we will take off our clothes and they'll be placing fingers through the notches in your spine. And when all is breaking, everything that you could keep inside, now your eyes ain't moving now, they just lay there in their climb. Two-headed boy, there's no reason to grieve. The world that you need is wrapped in gold, silver sleeves left beneath Christmas trees in the snow. And I will take you and leave you alone, watching spirals of white softly